Hey guys, my name's Steph. I'm Botanist Cool. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm playing D&D. Chia, unpaid internships. Welcome y'all. I hope you guys are having fun today, having a great day. We've actually planned out our intro this time, and hopefully it'll work out perfectly. Let's let everyone introduce themselves. Come on in, y'all.
All right. Hi, I'm Katie. I'm going to be playing Annalisa Goodbarrow, who is a halfling Storm Herald barbarian.
And my name is Kelly. I'm going to be playing Wiggs, who is a changeling sorcerer who disguises herself as a young elf.
My name is Neville. I'm going to be playing Ordo Brokentusk. He is a Loxodon Tempest Cleric.
And I'm Noelle. I'll be playing Tucker Sparrows, who is a teenage half-elf rogue.
And I am playing, quite literally, everybody else. I do hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I do hope you guys are ready for some high adventure. Just so you guys know, there are a few homebrew rules I do. The primary one, which you guys you will be seeing every game, is essentially me giving everyone a chance to do a background knowledge roll, which is kind of like the characters being like, "Oh, I know this about the world. How do I know this about the world?" For example, your neighborhood might have the best ice cream place, and you know about it. And maybe Tucker wants to know about his favorite ice cream place. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what we're going with that. Some of the people will actually at their leisure and at their choice. The people will be watching chat as well, and I will be on chat as well, making sure to moderate that. So we'll keep you there. Sharkbait, welcome to the group. Everyone, welcome. So we're gonna start. We're gonna start with like Neville Longbottom. We're gonna start with our knowledge rolls, and I think we'll just go same direction we did, left to right, up to down. Annalisa, does Annalisa have a knowledge roll she wants to knowledge on?
Yes, and if I may, I'd like to precedent it with a scene.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Yeah. I will say this.
So
I'm a very
it is.
just for people who don't know, I'm a very liberal DM. In which case, I will let people just kind of be like, I also want to do this, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, why not? So let's go.
Right. It is a relatively quiet, peaceful moment in the Good Barrel house. Evening is starting to settle in. And just as, everyone's getting ready for dinner to invite everyone over, a loud shriek just rips through the entire mansion as Annalisa pours slime shampoo onto herself. And her knowledge roll is to figure out how this happened and who she's going to be furious at.
Yeah, go for it. For those who don't know, last game Tucker decided to prank Annalisa by putting in disgusting, viscous, smelly slime goo into her shampoo.
Oh no, that's a 4.
You have no idea, Annalisa. You just ain't
Yes!
got a damn clue.
Yes!
That's not saying you can't figure out one day, but at the moment you ain't got a damn clue, homie.
Too mad.
All right, Wiggs, what is your knowledge roll for today?
I don't think I have one today.
All right, that's fair. Ordo.
So,
Yeah.
there was, I think, the night before we went into the underneath the obelisk or whatever.
Yeah.
No, it was after we left. I wanted to hang out and talk to
Reverend Hissington.
Yes. So I would like to do a knowledge roll to see what I've gathered about the Great Kiwi in the Sky and his religion.
Give me a knowledge roll of the great
16.
Okay. Moz, thank you very much for the follow. I do hope you're enjoying yourself here. 16 on the Great Kiwi in the Sky. Okay. I think what you kind of recognize is that Reverend Hissington's belief is definitely a very specific belief, almost cultish, in terms of its size and likely its belief power, in which you've heard of obviously smaller cults within the world. This doesn't seem to be any form of malevolent cult, but more so in the terms of it's a very specific belief that is a very small group of people believe in. And due to that, I think you recognize that it's. I don't think you've ever heard of the Great Kiwi in the Sky as a god, but you do recognize that through his belief, Reverend Hissington's belief, he draws power from the Great Kiwi in the Sky. The only thing is, there's no set belief system from what you could tell, except just
Okay.
to kind of be Kiwi-esque, which is like be tangy, be nutritious, and be good.
And be from the island of New Zealand. Yes,
And
yes.
be from New Zealand. Yes, there is fantasy New
Okay.
Zealand in this world.
It's called Old Zealand.
It's called Old Zealand. That's kind of what.
Old New Zealand.
Yeah, yield Zealand. That's kind of what we're going on today.
Cool.
So you learned a little bit about that. I would say like it's definitely respectable. You don't because of how small the religion is. There isn't necessarily the corruption you saw in your own religion, which was significantly larger.
Right.
But like any other organized faith, you assume that given enough time and or the wrong people, it could be corrupted.
Gotcha.
All right, and last but not least, Tucker.
Yeah, after we went down into the basement last week, we kind of put together that this might be the source of the slime everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know if Tucker can put together how the slime was spreading into the forests and not into the town.
Roll for it.
That's a 7.
I would say this: you and Lanu, well, you don't know yet. You two plan on staying a couple days to at least investigate that more. Lanu's given a
Okay.
theory that because the magic has permeated through the vine grove specifically, that's probably how the slimes got there. But he's not sure yet because the obelisk's original goal was to permeate to the vine groves themselves, not necessarily the town.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, and with that, I think we're gonna go right on into the game. It's I'm sorry, I'm just still dying at the fact that Annalisa was like, put in the sticky shampoo, and it is fantastic. I'm really, really excited to see that. I don't know, and just see like I forgot about that entirely. Let me put it like that. I completely forgot about it. So seeing it's just like yes.
I will not forget my character's grudges, Steph. They have a grudge or they have beef to settle. Katie does not forget that.
You don't have beef to settle yet, Katie.
Yet is the key word.
Yeah, is the key word. If Tucker starts being all sarcastic with her, she's gonna figure it out. Guarantee it.
All right.
I guess we shall see.
All right. So
I can't roll 4s every time.
No, not every time. It's every game. Like there's a demon lord, and you're just like, I want knowledge on that fucking shampoo again. All right. You guys have all right. It's the day after your investigations with the basement. You guys have been doing what you can. The Good Barrel family has invited everyone over for dinner the day before, and has been treating everyone very kindly. Obviously, due to your aid, they've been able to actually understand what they have. They've gone down into their basement, and they've been able to work with some more professional halflings to actively remove some of the reliefs that are on the wall and the paintings that you guys found and have minimal damage done to them. While it will take a while to actually restore them, and at least this is actually probably one of the first times you look at some of these reliefs in detail where you're seeing your great-grandparents and your great-grandparents before them and so on and so forth, who used to own and run this vineyard and winery. So you kind of got a really cool piece, and you kind of really saved a cool piece of your family history. And as you guys have been, yeah, 1 second. As you guys have been kind of doing what you're doing at that point, Tucker, you've been sleeping at your inn, and I'm assuming now, Wiggs is closing her room with a little few extra locks, because Tucker had once broken into it. I'm assuming that Ordo has been tipping the guy nicely for playing some music and enjoying the company downstairs.
Oh, you know it.
You know, Slime Jim hasn't been as active because he heard the slime issue was taken care of. He's still looking out everywhere. He's keeping an eye out, but he's not as active about the slime mancer anymore. And then there's Kelly with the slime romancing. But other than that, it seems to be generally peaceful. It is the next day. I'll kind of go with like, what do you guys want to do, and we'll move from there in order to see what's kind of going on. This is the next day. You guys have a few moments to do as you need to do and do what you want to do before I have anything. And actually, you all leveled up. If you want to give a quick rundown of what you leveled up and how you leveled up to and what happened with that, you're free to do that as well.
Do you mean in like a canonical sense, or just like on our character sheets?
Both. Why
Oh,
not?
God.
That could be a lot of fun. Like,
Oh, God.
like, don't get me wrong. It could be as simple as like you prayed with Reverend Hissington or whatever. But like, you can also do it in character sheet as well.
Gotcha.
Just like how your character's kind of progressed. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Right.
Well, I'll just go on character sheet. With level 2, Annalisa now has danger sense, so she has advantage on saving throws against effects she can see, so long as she's not blinded or deafened or anything like that. And then she also has reckless attack, which is on the first attack I make on my turn, I can get advantage on my melee weapon attack, but rolls against me also have advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's basically it. I have so much more health now. That's nice.
At level 2, how much health do you have?
26.
That's so
I
much
think-
health, guys.
I think Ordo somehow has me beat. I think
No,
my const-
no. I'm
No?
not. I'm almost, but I'm only on 21.
All right, Wiggs. What have you got in leveling up?
I got font of magic, and I essentially can use my sorcery points to gain additional spell slots, or I can use them in exchange for maybe a bonus action as well.
All right. And we have Ordo.
So in my time praying with what could just be another cult leader, I seem to gain a connection to the instead of the great kiwi in the sky, perhaps the fruit parfait in the sky. I don't know.
The fruit
On the-
parfait in the sky. Okay.
I got lightning powers. I had a lightning power and I completely forgot about it. But I got my channel divinity. Specifically, I got destructive wrath,
Mm-hmm.
so I can do a lot of lightning or thunder damage. However many times I can do my
Channel divinity.
divine divinity once per rest. And I got a little bit healthier. I got 21 health at level 2.
Nice. And Tucker, tell us about how sneaky you are now.
Yeah, I mean, after seeing battle with without his professor and kind of thinking about how to be tactical and to help out his team more, he took some notes, and now he has his cunning action, which means during a bonus action, he can dash, disengage, or hide, which I think that I may have accidentally used once because I didn't realize I didn't have my cunning action yet, but now it's official. And he also has 14 health.
Awesome. All right, so we have people with like, how much health does Wiggs have? I'm pretty sure it's like 10.
It better be more than that.
Give me 1 second.
Because I'm just curious.
Well, I mean,
I got
sorcery.
13, thank you.
Ooh, okay. Because I know they have a 1d6 health pool
Wiggs.
there.
Wiggs and Tucker out here made of glass.
Sorry, you got 2 tanks. That's what tanks
Yeah.
are for.
We're just
Hides
he's gonna
behind
be like,
Ordo.
You've got, you've got a massive elephant healer who's just gonna soak damage, and then you've got a tiny barbarian.
You got a small
who's
rage
also
machine
gonna
as
soak
well.
damage.
A small ball of rage.
Yeah.
Oh god, I love this group dynamic already. Okay.
Oh man, this is incredible.
All right. It is the next day, as we said before, and I'm kind of gonna leave this part open to you until we get to a specific point in which I will be interjecting with a fun little thing to do. But each of you at this point have now gotten paid by the Good Barrels. The Good Barrels, except for Annalisa. The Good Barrels have given everybody 150 gold pieces for their contributions.
Oh.
You guys have helped rescue some priceless family artifacts, as well as some gems and
But wait,
and magic
not
orbs.
not me.
Hold on, I'm getting to you in a moment. You're
I'm
the
sorry. I just want to make sure I didn't write down the wrong. write down
Katie having an aneurysm over
No, I wanted to make sure I didn't write down.
Katie,
I
yeah, I
bad
got you.
sometimes.
No, you're good. So you each get 150 gold pieces, and Annalisa, your father has complied with your previous request.
Yes.
He's not giving you a bag of holding because that would be fucking broken at level 1. But he has given you he's giving you a bag of like minor holding. This could hold eventually 30 square feet of stuff. And it's the same size as a bag of holding, but it can only hold 30 feet instead of like 500 feet. So
Wait, it's the same. Okay.
same size. You can put the same size stuff in there. It's like a satchel. It might be a little smaller, might not be. It's a negligible size difference, right? But it holds
Okay,
30
so
square feet instead of 500.
Okay.
And you do get a allowance of 100 gold pieces.
Yay.
The rich get richer.
Man, in order to make money, you gotta have money. Am I right?
Yeah,
she get
amen,
to-
brother.
Does she get to keep the 25 worth of gold gems
Because
from last time? Or
because
did-
that was assumed to have been given to the Good Barrels in terms of being able to replicate the orbs, if need be. You can
Okay.
you can ask
I
your
will-
parents to give you some specific gems back if needed, but
Nah, I'll
yeah.
just throw them out. I just like
Mhm.
I'll
Yeah.
just give them back. All right, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. With that, you guys have the day to yourself. Who wants to start and what are you doing? I will say this. Actually, let me set the scene up real quick for you guys. Annalisa, your mother has after having given you your reward, Annalisa, she has determined that because you guys have now bonded over battle, she wants you to actually deliver everyone else's reward to them at the inn. The immediate she wants you to deliver the rewards to everyone at the inn. I'm assuming at this point, because we've established that Ordo's a pretty early waker alongside Wiggs. Not sure about Tuck, but Ordo and Wiggs at the bare minimum, you guys are up as well, getting kind of your butter and bread breakfast at the inn. Are you up, Tucker?
Tucker will slink down like a little before noon at one point, still looking weary-eyed.
I will say this: if you guys are waiting till noon, Lanu's there waiting for you a little impatiently as well. Like, we were supposed to go down to the basement today. kind of deal. Like,
Does Tucker know that Lanu is like around what time Lanu is going to come get him?
I would say like he probably said in the morning, but because like of everything that happened, he didn't specify, but he didn't assume noon.
11:30 still morning.
My God.
And at that point, I will say, Annalisa, you do kind of join in around that time as well, due to your family business. You've come in a little later, around
Annalisa spent so much
11:30 in the
time.
morning.
Annalisa spent so much time checking every single shampoo bottle and every single nook and cranny because apparently these slimes have infiltrated her house.
Specifically, her shampoo bottles.
Specifically, her shampoo bottles.
Incredible.
All right. Annalisa busts in and opens the door into the inn.
Kicks down the door to the inn.
Basically, opens it with slightly more force than necessary.
Everyone kind of looks at you for a moment. It's kind of like that Western thing for a moment. You open it with slightly more force, and everyone just kind of like looks at you for 1 second, and then they go back to what they're doing.
So where are people sitting at?
The group is sitting kind of in the dining area. There's still a little jig happening in the background, but like it's morning, not everyone's like dancing like they usually do at night. Everyone's kind of sitting in the dining area eating, probably where you guys were meeting before, just a day or two ago.
All right. Annalisa walks over and she's like, "Well, good morning, everyone. I see you're having appetizers."
Oh, good morning, little one. This is actually our breakfast, but I understand how you might get confused.
Oh, I see. She kind of like looks at it and then looks back up. Is like, "I've been sent here by my family to deliver your reward for following my good lead the other day." And she begins taking out the satchels of money, I assume that they're in.
Yeah.
Or what? Yeah. And starts. So she starts with Ordo, and then I guess Wiggs is next.
Mm-hmm.
And then she kind of pauses, and she gives it to Tucker, but with a face.
The hierarchy of favoritism. Tucker takes it with a sweet smile
Aww.
and weighs it in his hand.
You feel exactly 150 gold pieces in there.
You're great at weighing gold by proxy.
I would just like to know, I did not grab the bag from her, but instead I used the mage hand to grab the bag.
Annalisa gives you kind of like a weird look, but she's like, whatever. Like,
Let's be real, Annalisa, you'd probably do the same thing if you could cast Mage Hand.
she doesn't want to touch the peasants.
Your parents are as generous as usual, Annalisa. And
Aren't they, though?
He kind of stands up and stretches, and he says, "Well, I think I'm going to head to the Vines Mark before I have to meet up with the professor to do some more investigating." And he starts slipping towards the door.
Mm-hmm.
Is the professor waiting on you like right now?
Repeat that, Neville.
It's 11:30, isn't it?
What?
How late in the morning is it right now?
It's like 11:30. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, awesome. I just want to make sure.
All right. You end up. You guys end up. So you end up. You're going to the Vines Market. You said.
Yeah, that's where Tucker is going.
So you're actually gonna go shopping. Cool.
Yeah.
What about everyone else? What's everyone else planning on doing?
I guess Ordo, during his time off, he would just try to like look around and see if there's maybe ask around either town guards or check out the infirmary or see if there's anything he can do to kind of help out
Yeah.
anybody.
All right, Wiggs.
I'm gonna follow Tucker.
Stealthily or just gonna normally follow him?
The hunter has become the hunted.
I'm gonna do it stealthily.
Give me a
I don't really want him to notice, or if he notices me, he's gonna be like, "Oh, look, she came out shopping too."
Give me a stealth roll. And Tucker, because you're a rogue and you are a sneaky boy, I'll give you perception roll as well.
Perception. That's a nat 1, baby.
Oh!
17.
Karma has come for Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker, you are unaware, but you are being tracked by a. You need to get new dice, Noel. You really do. You're being
really
tracked
do.
by a sorceress not too far behind you as you go shopping. And Annalisa, what are you gonna do?
I assume that maybe like she and Ordo, like she's probably gonna head back to her mansion, but maybe
Yeah.
she and Ordo like take the same route or something, perhaps.
Okay, sure, yeah.
For a little bit, at least, maybe.
For sure. All right. This is actually perfect. So at the Vines Market, let's go with Tucker for a bit. At the Vines Market, did I ever make an NPC sheet for the new folk? That's the question. I forgot. Do you guys remember what the name?
I know what her name is.
Please
Her
tell
name
me.
is Sybeat. Sybeat.
Sybeat, perfect. At the Vines Market, you do see the owner or the owner's daughter, Sybeat. She is sitting at the the counter, kind of looking over, and she goes, "Oh, hey, welcome back. How can I help you?"
Hi. I actually have some stuff that I wanted to buy. Just odds and ends here and there.
Yeah, all right. Let's see what we could do for you.
Do you happen to have a sewing kit?
A sewing kit. She kind of goes, "Yeah, we should have one of those around." She kind of looks around and she brings out a sewing kit, no problem. She goes, "Yeah, here you go. I got a sewing kit. Has a few needles, some thread, basic stuff."
Perfect. And do you have any like touristy stuff for the town, like a little trinket that's just kind of pretty and
An I Love Vine Grove T-shirt.
yeah, something like that. He specifically wants something kind of pretty and maybe like delicate.
She kind of taps her finger to her chin. She goes, if you want something pretty and delicate, actually," she goes, "there is down the block. They don't do a lot of this anymore, so keep it on the down low," she goes. I bring out the name generator as well, by the way. She goes, there actually is an old Guild Nation craftsman not too far down the road, who used to specifically craft a lot of I don't know if you remember the Guild Nation pins back in the day. You might be a little too young for that. You look a little young. You might be a little too young to know exactly what we're talking about. But his name is Finrin. He's on the older side. He's about 150-ish years old. But
Finrin, that's like FYN.
FINRIN.
FINRIN.
He actually crafts a whole bunch of pins and whatnot. He probably have like some grape-themed pins that you might be interested in buying. He used to do it for like all the big guilds back in the day too.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely check him out. Thanks for the tip. I guess it's just the sewing kit for now then.
Yep, 5 gold pieces.
Tucker gives her 10.
Oh, okay. Nice to hear. She goes, "Oh, are you sure? This is a lot of gold."
He's going to smile at her and say, "Think of it as an investment toward your travels."
She smiles gratefully. She goes, "Oh, thank you very much. I will most certainly use it for that."
Yeah, good luck out there.
And you too. and she kind of puts the 5 gold in the register, and then she kind of puts the 5 gold in her pocket as if it would be a tip.
Yeah.
And you leave. Wiggs, you're watching this. What are you doing?
Tucker does not notice her at all.
Not at all. No.
I'm gonna wait for Tucker to leave and then go in.
All right, you're in. Nice to see you. Pleasure to meet you. I am Saren. Probably for her name was. What was her name again?
Cybeat.
Cybeat. God, I have to have a sheet for this. I'm gonna make the sheet tonight after the stream. My name is Cybeat. I am one of the proprietors of the shop. How can I help you?
And what type of shop is this again?
It's a general store.
A general store.
It's got
All
your
right.
basic weapons, potions, etc.
I'm actually gonna look for potions.
Yeah.
See if there's any like minor healing of any type.
Yeah, you ask her for some potions, and she goes, "Oh yeah, no problem. They're over here in this specific case." And you kind of go, and there's a whole bunch of small potions, and you do see several potions of like cure light wounds healing potions. Yeah. She goes, each of them are about 50 gold pieces. So if you
Oh my god.
yeah, we don't get a lot of them here, unfortunately, but we do have a couple, and typically adventurers buy them, and that's the price that's kind of been settled on.
Is there other potions? Like what are some of the others?
There's like a potion of stone skin. There's like a potion of like bear's endurance, but other than that, there's not too much else.
I'm gonna skedaddle out of there.
You're not even gonna try to barter, okay? You just kind of leave. She's like, "Oh, okay. Have a good day," and you head on out. But as you head on out, give me a little perception roll.
One moment, my dice. Natural 1.
As you step on out, you hear a loud squeak below you, and you quickly move your foot around to realize you stepped on the tail of a small mouse.
Oh no!
The small mouse looks at you. Looks like the small mouse kind of grabs its tail, starts like rubbing it like gently, like oh, it just been like obviously hurt because it's been stepped on by a giant. But it seems to finish over, and then it kind of like gets on its hind leg and kind of like. You see it kind of like brush itself off on the chest as if it was getting dust off it, right? And then it kind of looks up at you, and it kind of like, and this is a cute little brown mouse, right? And it kind of like, you don't know where from it does this, but it kind of like, with its mouth just under its arm, and pulls out a small pink slip. And it offers the pink slip to you.
I'm gonna take it.
You look at the pink slip, and on the pink slip it says, Waffles Wanderers Emporium, 50 off. Waffles Wandering Wanderers Emporium, 50 off. It just says 50 off. What the 50 is, you don't know, but it does say 50 off.
I'm gonna ask the mouse to take me there.
The mouse squeaks. That's it? Doesn't really know what you're saying? Doesn't speak common?
Oh, great. All right. I'm gonna point to the letter and then point out there, like out in the open.
You kind of feel a small magic surge from the letter, and you look at behind it and it says "Coming tomorrow."
Ooh.
And the mouse
Can I give
squeaks
the
again.
mouse a piece of cheese?
A piece of what?
A piece of cheese? Or
You-
probably a ration. I don't know if I have cheese specifically on me.
Yeah, you can get like cheese from your ration or something like that. Sure. You give the mouse some cheese, and the mouse seems exceptionally delighted and starts trotting off.
All right. Well, that was weird. Oddly, for some reason, I feel like Wiggs would feel like that's the most normal thing that's happened to her. I'm like, this is okay. So I'm going to take this letter
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
It's like a
ask
tiny
around if
business
anyone's.
card. To better say, it's like a tiny
Oh,
business card. Just on the front, it just says Waffles Wondrous Wandering Emporium,
oh my lord! All right.
and it says 50 off.
Is it like handwritten? Well, I guess how
Cornily
else would it
so.
be?
Cornily so. Yes. It is like corny calligraphy. Yeah.
Oh, that's even better. I'm going to ask around some local shopkeepers, see if they've heard of this emporium and where it would be at.
The moment you mention it, everyone's like, "We have no idea what you're talking about."
Can I
Like,
show them the card?
yeah, like, I'll say this: even if you got a nat 20 on like investigation, there's not a single person here that is aware of what Waffles Wondrous Wandering Emporium is.
Great, so I look even crazier.
A
Better.
little bit, yes.
All right, I think I'm gonna take this back to the inn.
Okay. Ordo, you said you needed to go do some healing, and what you are aware of is that there are still some workers who were on the field yesterday that got injured. Reverend Hissington is helping heal them within the medical section of the Good Barrel Estate. You are more than welcome to go with him to heal more. And Annalisa, I don't know if you're going to go with him to actually do any healing, but the option is there to kind of visit the workers and see what's going on.
She might catch him once he starts coming in. I don't think she'd want to help out with the healing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if you want to do that first, you can.
Yeah, well, you both are actually walking from the inn to the manor itself.
Oh, okay. Then in that case, maybe she'll just like walk along with them and be like, you know, it's not very often that we have people of your size around here.
Well, it's not very often I see people of your size in my travels, so it seems like we're pretty even right now.
She's like mildly offended, but this is like the third time, so like a person can only get offended so many times in a row about this.
Uh, Upon the Ordo just kind of and oh you and just like lightly pats her head with his big meaty elephant hand.
She immediately like pushes it off, like she's like she doesn't say it, but it's a very like we are not at this level that you can pat me on the head. And she kind of like fixes her hair that was touched by the very tall man that she kind of knows and was like, so are you some sort of traveling cleric then?
Of sorts, yeah. I am. I guess technically, I am both a traveler and a cleric. Yes. But I don't know if I would consider myself a traveling cleric by the means of, or by the definition that some others might go by.
You know, that old source or that young elven woman that sort of wanders from place to place. You sounded more suspicious than her with that kind of answer.
That's fair. Oh, man, that Wiggs is. She seems pretty normal to me. I've met some pretty crazy people in my travels, and she definitely isn't the craziest.
Oh,
So.
really?
Oh, for sure, certainly. I once met. You'll love this. So I once met a dark elf who swore he could talk to caterpillars, and all he would do is walk around and talk to caterpillars. He never bathed, never shopped. I never even saw him eat, and I was stuck with him for a very long time. Well, it was like 2 hours, but it felt like an eternity. It was a lot of caterpillar talk that I just wasn't used to.
Was
So
he
I think
was he casting speak with animals?
I
On the
didn't see
caterpillar.
him cast a single spell. In fact, I don't know if the caterpillars were talking back to him. I think he was just talking to the caterpillars. It was a
Ah,
one-way conversation that
I
he interpreted as a two-way.
I see. I think the people from your neck of the woods, as it were, are very strange.
Please, please,
Perhaps I have not been
from the
giving you
mountains.
enough credit. From the mountains.
Yeah, well, that's that. I came from a lower part of the mountains originally, but neck of the woods. I understand. I've gathered up on your silly folks terminal. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say it like that. Truth be told, I'm going through a huge growing process for myself,
Well, I
spiritually,
hope you do not
not
grow any
physically.
larger.
Oh, don't worry about that. Then you'd really be a little one. Oh, that would be funny though. That would be funny. Ordo kind of just does his whole looking off in the distance thing, but with a slight smile, just like the right side of his mouth is like curved up a little bit.
Annalisa
Yeah.
looks at him like he's absolutely bonkers, but says nothing.
You guys reach the Good Barrel Estate, and it's not much longer later that you are directed into the medical ward, Ordo, where you're able to help out with anyone who does obviously need medical aid. And once you get on in there, you see Reverend Hissington just kind of at work in his twitchy, quirky kind of way, casting like a few minor healing spells here and there, but also using kiwi-based salves. I will say this: the moment he kind of sees Annalisa just kind of walk by, he kind of goes, "Oh, Little Miss Goodbarrel," and he kind of like starts wandering over to you.
What is with everyone calling me little today?
Well, you're the daughter. You're Little Miss Goodbarrel, Little Miss here.
I suppose that's acceptable.
He goes, I heard your screams from across the town, and I wanted to give you something to help you out. And he kind of brings out a bottle of kiwi shampoo. And he goes, not only is it a shampoo, but it's a 2-in-1 conditioner shampoo.
Ordo immediately speaks up. Annalisa, I have to say, I don't know much about city folk or the non-traveler life, but I do know one thing, and it's that you should never use 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. It is so terrible for your hair.
He goes,
Well,
but
you're
you
cultured
see...
at least about some important things.
He kind of goes, but blessed by the
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
blessed by the great kiwi, it is holy 2-in-1 shampoo. He gets it to you either way, and he's just like, if you want.
Oh.
Can
I gesture over at Annalise, and I say, you know what, go take it. But
Annalisa looks at it and then looks up at you, Ordo, and is like, well, he did say it was holy. Wouldn't this be better for you? And she's like, holds it out for you to take.
Oh, Ordo, I will gladly accept this. And Ordo takes the god awful 2-in-1 kiwi shampoo conditioner and adds that to his inventory. I'll put it in treasure.
Fantastic. Make sure to write down that it's holy. That's canonical now.
Well, he claims it's holy, so...
I grab the bottle and notice that there's just a bunch dripping out because he just punctured he just took a stick and poked a bunch of holes in it.
And it is holy. You spend kind of the afternoon helping out and assuring that the the people here are healed. And Annalisa, you kind of leave Ordo to his doings, and you are eventually called back in by your mother to the Good Barrel study, essentially. She calls you. You kind of hear like one of your servants comes by, or one of your maids or butlers or whatever comes by and goes, "Miss Annalisa, your mother is looking for you in the study." You good there, Katie?
I hit mute. Um, so she goes, thank you for informing me. And she stands up, fixes her dress, and heads towards the study.
As you head towards the study, you see that the servants seem to be a little more gossipy today. There seems to be like something's happening. You don't quite catch what exactly is happening immediately, but you assume your mother's gonna be telling you momentarily. And you walk into the study, and you see three people there. You see Professor Lanu chillin', you see your mother, and you see your father. Professor Lanu is still using a bit of a sturdy cane while he's walking for now. Seems like his burns were a little longer lasting than a lot of the other ones. So he's just using it to make sure he's staying sturdy as he walks throughout the area. And your father and your mother are sitting down at a chair, and your father goes, "Honey, can you take a seat? We got to talk to you about something."
Annalisa nods and, does a little curtsy at Lanu and then, walks over and takes a seat.
Serafina responds to you, and she goes, This might be a little hard for you to hear, but there comes a time in every good barrel's life where he or she, and for the past several generations it's been she, where she must learn about the world for herself and experience the world on her own. With the recent going-ons, with what's happened in the past 70 years, neither I nor your father want you to experience this alone, and it is honestly scary. When I was your age, I never went past the first few towns near here, and I believe my worldview has suffered from it. And I think you would benefit greatly from traveling with the professor.
Out of character, so does Annalisa know that this is a family thing that does or is this the first time she's hearing of traveling ever?
This is the first time you're hearing of traveling. You've heard that your mother has gone on adventures before. She told you. But because they've protected you for quite a while, it's more along the lines of this is the first time you're hearing about it because they haven't protected you and assumed that you would never have the chance. You've probably heard on and off grandma used to be a badass kind of deal. But you've never got explained that there's a traveler thing. And not only that, I would say that you can give me an insight roll to determine some more things.
Sure.
Yeah.
1 second. Let me pull up my sheet. 15.
There's definitely some business speak in there that is meant to be more along the lines of this is a beneficial thing for you, kind of trying to sell you on the idea, right? You're not sure what exactly it is, but they're trying to sell you on the idea a little business-like. And you're keen enough in the business world to know that. And you do know for a fact that your mother, as she said, her first adventure, she killed a goblin with a great axe that you currently wield. So you know that she has gone out on adventures herself. You might not know what the motive is in terms of does she really think her worldview was narrowed by not being able to go out far enough? But you are aware that she is thinking about you in this case, and she does want you to experience the world. But this is the first time you're hearing about traveling. This has never come up before. You probably assumed that you would be here your entire life is what I'm kind of getting at.
Yeah. So Annalisa kind of looks at her mom
Mm-hmm.
and her dad,
Mhm.
and she kind of goes, knowing that they're kind of like trying to sell her on it and everything, kind of goes like, I don't understand. Was my performance with the slimes unsatisfactory?
Perrin kind of laughs. He goes, "Oh no, your performance was fantastic. I would you acted you did everything great. You were able to go in and find out what the causes were. We're able to plan for that in the future. You got everything we needed to get out of that. Um,
Then why are you trying to? Why do you want me to leave?
oh God, it's Katie. Why? um, uh, Serafina goes. Don't think about it as leaving because you're obviously going to come back one day. Think about it as learning, exploring. And I think at that point, Lano kind of chimes in and goes, "You see, I still have a home." He goes to you. It may not be as grandiose as your current living situation, but I still have a home as well as Tucker, and I assume Ordo and Wiggs. And Serafina goes, "You're always welcome here. You're always going to be here. This is your home. Vine Grove is a good barrel's home. But if you only know Vine Grove, then you don't know the rest of the world." And she kind of goes, there used to be, from what my mother told me, a lot more out there. I didn't get to experience it because I was born after the Clemening, but I think it might be a good idea for you to experience it.
Annalisa kind of looks down at her lap. She's not quite sure what to make of this, because this is she knows her parents aren't quite kicking her out, but it kind of sounds like that to her, and she's just very confused and she doesn't understand why this is coming up. And she's kind of like, for how long would you want me? How long is this supposed to last?
I think at that point, Chillin kind of laughs. Professor Chillin laughs, and Perrin shoots him a look, like this is my baby. Don't be laughing at her strife, kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? And Seraphina's kind of got the most neutral face there, and at that point, I think Seraphina's about to talk, and the professor actually comes up and he goes, "If you travel enough, you may choose. You'll never want to come back." He goes, "But I say this in the best of ways. I think the one thing Tucker has above you and excels beyond you is that he has seen temples and monasteries inlaid into mountains. He's seen ruined cities and helped me discover old artifacts of the old guild nation that we would have found before. Things that will likely help you here. The journals of the journals of Erlin, the great alchemy guild master, will likely help Vine Grove in their own ways with alchemical research. And Tucker was part of that discovery. That experience is something you do not have and never will get here. And as such, you will suffer." He kind of goes. And the parents kind of like, he's being respectful, but he's just kind of like, don't you dare, like you're being a little hard on my girl. Fuck off, mate, kind of deal.
The
And-
two dads, like.
And Serafina kind of looks at Perrin and she understands, and you can see she immediately sympathizes with him. But at the same time, she goes, the professor is right. You don't have that experience.
Annalisa kind of like jolts her head up at hearing her mom confirm this. Just because, Professor Chillin to say it is one thing, her mom to say it is another.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like, so you're saying I'm not as good as Tucker? And she kind of looks down, and then she kind of looks up and she's like, all right.
Serafina goes, like, I will say this, immediately Serafina goes, no, that's not, and Professor Chillin goes, yes, that's what I'm saying. Chillin is obviously challenging you. Your mother's trying to play both sides. I think at that point, like, your father is definitely a little more vocal, kind of like, I think you're being a little out of line there, Professor. And Professor Chillin goes, I don't think so at all. Surely one can stay here their entire lives and learn nothing of the outside world, but how would that benefit a company that wants to be nationwide?
Annalisa kind of like, at this point, like, slams her hands down on the table and stands up. And she looks at her parents like, is that what you agree with? And she kind of like looks down and she kind of grits her teeth. And then she looks up and she's like, fine then, I will go. And I'll show you that I am not worse than Tucker. She kind of like marches off. She's like, I'll pack my bags and I'll be ready to go. And you'll see that you'd much rather have me as a daughter than Tucker. And she kind of like slams the door behind her.
I will say this little epilogue there. You kind of the viewers, shall we say, you all see Professor Chillin laughing in the room as Serafina and Perrin Goodbarrel kind of look at each other somewhat worried. And Perrin goes, you didn't have to be that rough with her. And Chillin's just kind of like, oh, yes, I did. He goes, worry not, we will care for her, and she'll be fine. And Serafina goes, yeah, that's why we're going to let her go with you. We know you'll take care of her. And I think that's kind of all you guys get between their secret discussions. But yeah, you completely misinterpreting what your parents said. You have stormed off to get ready for a traveling adventure with the Professor and Tucker.
Kids.
Thanks, Professor. We're now unofficial rivals. Apparently.
I don't think even Tucker recognizes this.
I know.
It is now the next. I would say it's been a day since you guys' respective events have happened. You've been healing and whatnot.
Can Tucker still go to the guild guy?
Oh yeah, sure. Tucker, you you head towards Finrin's little smith shop. And Finrin doesn't seem to have a lot in his studio. He seems to have a very small smelter kind of deal and a very small, like, workstation. It's actually kind of put off to the side and been in pretty good disuse, honestly. And as you kind of enter on, he kind of walks from the back and he goes, what do you need there, kid?
Is Finrin also a halfling?
Yep.
All right. He kind of looks around and he says, oh, so is this your smith shop?
He goes, no, let me get the owner for you. He goes to the back, and he comes back out. What can I do for you, smartass?
Wait, it's okay. Um, Tucker is going to frown a little bit, and he's going to look for daggers around, like any kind of knives or anything like that.
There are no daggers and knives. This guy was pretty ornamental in his work. Or let me put it like this: there are no utilitarian daggers and knives. The few that you do find seem to be like displays as whatnot, and seem to be displays of old Guild Nation items. Rather, it seems to be like a ornamental or ceremonial dagger from the Old Tides Guild, or the Old Explorers Guild, or the old Moonstag Guild, something like that.
Tucker is going to say, I heard that you were that you used to work in the Guild Nation
Damn
a
straight.
while back. Me and my professor studied them. Maybe you know him, Professor Lanu Chillin. He served with the Guild Nation too.
Academics. They do what they do. He's an old man.
He's going to say, I heard that weapons aren't, or ornamental weapons aren't the only things that you make.
Kind of raises an eyebrow and goes, "You trying to get a commission for me, Sonny?"
Yeah, a little pin, maybe.
He thinks about it and he goes, looks at the forge, looks back at his tools, and he goes, "If the price is right, I could do something for you. What do you want?"
It's a present for someone. Just a little something to commemorate my time here, I guess.
He goes, "All right, I could think of something for you. How does 25 gold pieces sound? I'll make you a little pin."
That sounds good to me.
And he takes your 25 gold pieces and he goes, "I'll have it done by tomorrow. Feel free to come on in then."
All right. But before Tucker leaves, he's going to look at the daggers and he's going to say, have you made any commissions other than this recently?
He kind of looks at you and he shakes his head. He goes, "Ain't many people here looking for pins anymore."
Well, why did you settle down here in a place where nobody's really looking for pins?
Cheap. cheap area here if you're gonna live here long term. All you gotta do is sell one or two things and you're good for a year.
I get that. And he's going to look at one of the ornamental daggers and he's going to, or like two of the ornamental daggers, and he's going to say, may I?
You can hold it, you can't take it.
Tucker picks them up and he's going to try juggling them for him.
Give me a performance roll. Let's see how great this goes.
All right, performance. 12.
You don't quite juggle them as much as you kind of like, you do that movie thing where you throw the knife and you catch it by the hilt kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
You immediately tell that as you kind of test one knife out, they're not balanced for throwing. They're not balanced for juggling, and as such, you'd probably endanger yourself. So you just kind of like throw it up and down, just kind of like testing out the balance of it itself. And he goes, "You're going to cut your hand off, kid. I'd recommend not tossing it around so willy-nilly."
Who even buys these things?
At this point, he kind of looks like a little interested that you're interested. And he goes, "Why do you want to know?"
I mean, I'm just curious as to who would be buying a knife that you can't really use.
He smiles and he goes, "Well, let me tell you something. Let's say 120 years ago, some odd, I used to be one of the best decorative, ceremonial folk out there to make these kind of blades, yeah? And when you get a fancy blade, you don't want to use it in battle. Like, look at that craftsmanship. Not that, you know what, to completely toot my own horn, that thing's fantastic. And he kind of takes the knife you're holding, and he puts it in the sheath that kind of came with it, or the sash kind of came with. And you see the sash is actually really well designed, really intricately made. There are, when I say intricately made, like this is kind of like museum grade quality work, as Lanu would put it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Intricate amounts of silver and rare metals are on there, as well as high quality paints that have been lacquered on and properly preserved and all that stuff. And he goes, when you get a promotion or something to a high rank in a guild, not only would you get maybe a pin made out of gold, usually you get something copper or silver, nothing too expensive, but you might get a pin out of gold, but you also get one of these, and you would wear this as a symbol, as your status, as maybe a guild leader or a higher up in a guild. And he goes, this was for a promotion that never happened for the new leader of the Old Tides Guild. He goes, they were a transportation guild about 70 years ago. They've been around for hundreds of years before that. It used to be one of the big 5 guilds. And they had since then been destroyed, obviously. But this was one for a promotion to the leader of the guild, and never quite happened.
What happened to them?
Oh, they all died.
He kind of makes a grimace at that, and he says, so you kept an old blade for someone who's dead for 120 years?
This is art, kid. Have you seen it? I did a good job on this. I ain't gonna throw it away. It's fucking art.
Tucker says, well, yeah, but it's art in the middle of nowhere. I mean, why didn't you sell it off or donate it to a museum or something like that?
Ain't much in terms of too many museums. Maybe in the capital, ain't much else he goes. But I appreciate it. People who walk in appreciate it. They ask about the history, didn't you?
He frowns and he says, yeah, I guess so.
And he kind of takes the knife back and he puts it up back on the wall, and he goes, you know what, when I die, who knows where they're gonna go. But for now, whenever I see a person walk in and they're kind of just traveling to and fro, they come and ask you for souvenirs like you do every once in a while, and they ask about them up there, they learn a little bit more. But until I die, they're gonna stay here, he goes.
Do you ever miss your old shop?
He stops and he goes, yeah, but there's no really turning back the apocalypse,
Tucker looks contemplative for a minute, and he gives a smile, a bright smile, and he says, well, I can't promise that I'll ever be some high-ranking guild master or whatever, but if I ever get enough money to afford any of this, then maybe one day I'll get my own decorative knife.
He goes, well, make sure to get it before I am off, because ain't nobody I trained to be as good as I am. He kind of gives a laugh. He goes, maybe I should find someone, actually. That's something I should probably do before I go and off myself.
Tucker kind of winks and he says, well, if that happens, maybe I'll just loot it then.
He laughs. And he's like, oh, snarky son of a gun there, eh?
He winks and he says, I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, kid. And you leave. It is nighttime by the time the three of you at least have kind of met all back up in the It's that time by the time you guys have met up in the inn, and the three of you are there. I'm not sure where Annalisa is, but I think Annalisa would be aware that
She's
at night.
She's angrily packing her bags. Are you kidding?
Yeah. You guys the three are now back at the inn. I'm pretty sure
Actually,
Ordo's.
Sorry, there
Actually,
was one thing I wanted to
yeah,
what time before it gets like too late,
yeah,
is there like a tailor in town?
yeah. There's a tailor in town for sure.
Okay. Ordo would like to visit the tailor.
Yeah, so probably around late afternoon, early evening, you start heading towards the tailor, and you get Steph to click the button on the random NPC generator. If he can find the right fucking page on his tabs, because there's so many goddamn tabs. Nope, yes. And you see a middle-aged female halfling kind of sitting at the tailor's desk. She's working on something, probably more in her pastime at this moment, because you see a lot of the clothes behind her are relatively, they seem well fixed and are cleaned. But you do kind of see her like crocheting something, essentially like a blanket or something like that. And she kind of greets you. And she goes, "Oh, how can I help you?"
Well, hello, ma'am. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. You see, I'm interested in getting something for a friend of mine.
Hmm.
And I was wondering, uh, I would like I would like to procure. Is that the word I want to use? That's the word. A nice set of uh, uh, like formal wear, as well as a set of travel wear for a. Give me a second. I have to pull something up. Sorry, I should have been prepared. I
Yeah,
should have been prepared. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
you're good. You're
I'm.
good.
Oh wait. You know what? For roughly for a half elf, maybe roughly around Tucker, what's your height?
He's like 5'6", 5'7".
Roughly around 5'6" or 5'7".
I only use metric here, sweetie.
Okay, give me a second.
I'm kidding. You're fine. You're fine.
Roughly 1.6764 meters.
Perfect.
Just I think an athletic build fits, right? Like that works. Yeah, I described Tuck.
Yeah. She
I was just wondering if
goes,
I could get, yeah.
let me see what I've got. And she kind of goes back and she kind of starts going through some of the clothes in the back. Some of them are hung up really nicely. Some of them are just kind of, there. And she starts kind of scrambling a few things together. There are some formal clothes. I think the formal clothes are the ones that are definitely a little harder to find. It's more along the terms of like she's got a nice cape, a nice set of pants, and a nice shirt. And
If it's not necessarily formal, just something that you might be able to wear to like a nicer dinner occasion or something like
yeah,
that.
these are finer clothes for sure.
Gotcha.
Um, they are pretty bland in terms of like there's a lot of colorful clothes here, but they don't seem to serve too many half elves getting fine clothes. So like they're pretty bland in comparison to a lot of the other fine clothes you do see around. But they are pretty like
When you say bland,
they are very well made fine clothes.
when you say bland, do you mean like neutral colors bland
Neutral
or like
colors,
just
yeah, neutral
okay,
colors.
gotcha. All right.
They don't have the frills and whatnot on them either. Like there's no
Mm-hmm.
frills and what have you.
That's fine.
But like
Something tells me that I don't need frills.
yeah, it's like browns and greens versus like vibrant yellows, reds, etc.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
She kind of brings out a set of fine clothes, which include like a general. Let me take a look at the thing here, which includes which includes like a very nice cape/robe, a good shirt, overcoat, and or like a what's that thing you wear under your jacket, your suit jacket that could look really good on its own?
Vest?
A vest, yes, a vest.
Yeah.
A nice vest and a nice set of pants with a decent set of shoes. And you do also find more adventure gear that is very much so utilitarian.
Gotcha.
Khaki shorts with like 1,000 pockets. No.
Cargo pants!
Cargo pants, yeah!
and like those shirts that fishers wear
Yeah.
that are like really aerated.
Unironically, I do love those, and I wear them quite a bit myself.
I have no doubt that they're comfortable, but
so tacky, yeah. She does.
not as bad yet.
She does. She does offer. She goes. I have these adventure gears, or I have. Or she goes. I could get you something a little less tacky. What are you going for?
I think something that doesn't draw a whole lot of attention is probably best. I feel like my friend doesn't want the world staring at them.
Okay. And she kind of brings out some the more plain clothes in terms of neutral colors, but they're definitely utilitarian clothes. They got a couple extra pockets and a belt loop, and like a small like utility belt where you can kind of hook things on kind of deal. And she goes, all right, total's gonna be 20 gold pieces.
Absolutely. I Ordo hands over 35 gold pieces. Make it 36 because I want to be in fives or zeros.
Okay, fair enough.
Overpaying to get those zeros.
She kind of just goes, "Are you sure? That's quite a okay."
I can tell that you take your craft very seriously, and I think you deserve to be rewarded for such a wonderful job that you do.
She goes, "Well, okay, thank you very much. I will take this gladly." And she kind of takes the gold pieces. Did Riggs want to do anything else before I ended off the day and got you all back in the tavern?
Nope.
All right. After that, you kind of end up making your way back to the tavern. Ordo, Tucker's not there just yet, so you put the clothes for him up in the room.
I was gonna say, what I wanted to do is I wanted to see if his room was unlocked.
Oh. I don't. Tucker, would you left your room unlocked out of curiosity? Your stuff isn't per se there. It's probably with Lanu, or a lot of the important stuff is probably with Lanu. So you may have some clothes there, but would you have left your door locked?
Let me roll for 50-50.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's unlocked.
Cool.
It is unlocked.
So I walk right in, and I have the clothes folded up nicely, and they're just resting on the bed, and I leave a little note. Oh God, I didn't think about what I wanted the note to say. You know what? I don't leave a note. I leave a note. I was like, for my good friend Tuck, and I don't sign it or anything. I just leave it there, and then I go back down to like the main area.
And as you go back down to the main area, it's not much longer that you see Wiggs walking in, staring at this strange pink slip in her hands. It's probably no bigger than a business card at all.
What does that, Wiggs?
Oh, well, earlier today I was talking with a mouse and he gave me this pink piece of paper.
Did the mouse talk back?
He squeaked.
Ordo suddenly thinks back to the caterpillar guy. And just gets a little uncomfortable. He like adjusts he like just okay, and he just grabs a seat and he just kind of sits down and leans back a little bit.
Ordo is like awfully weirded out by like people talking to animals when he himself is an elephant.
Why is he so weirded out?
There is a difference between a loxodon and an elephant. Okay, I will have you know.
Yeah, they have fingers.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Jesus.
And
They
I
do
can
have
stand on my hind
fingers.
legs. Okay, I don't want to hear. And I mean, I'm a humanoid, so I've got got a higher level of intellect and consciousness than a standard elephant. I like to believe. Uh,
Yeah, you would like to believe, eh?
well, I've got an intelligence of 13 and a wisdom of 18, so I don't know
Oh, not
what a
bad.
normal
Yeah,
elephant would have, but I
yeah.
think it's better than an elephant.
Fair enough. Okay. Um, and not much longer after Wiggs gets in, our friend Tucker wanders in as well.
Tucker, how have you been doing, my friend?
Did a little shopping.
Oh, what did you get?
Stuff. And he's like being like deliberately very vague.
I do
How's the
enjoy stuff.
sewing kit?
He looks at Wig and gives her the dirtiest look that he could muster. And he's like, how do you know about that?
I know things, and I'm just gonna wave the pink slip of paper, like as if that has any correlation.
Tucker is going to try and grab it
Yeah.
out of her hands.
Give me a sleight of hands roll.
Sleight of hand. I'm good at that. 11.
I'm gonna let Kelly contest it with a dexterity roll.
Okay, 1 second.
If Wiggs is actively trying to keep it from him. If she's not, then he'll get it. I'm okay with that.
He could just get it.
You kind of go up and you grab it, and you're now holding a small pink slip written in really gaudy, really over the top calligraphy that says Waffles Wandering Wanderers Emporium 50 off.
What is this?
Waffles Wandering Emporium, 50 off.
50 what?
I don't know. I was trying to. There wasn't enough time with the mouse.
The mouse.
It was a mouse who gave me the paper.
Like the newt that suddenly appeared on your face. That kind of situation.
No, I was kind of rude to this mouse. I stepped on his tail.
You stepped on his tail and he gave you something? He gave you the pig slip?
You done got fired.
By a mouse? What is this, Disneyland? Oh, sorry, I probably shouldn't say that on a...
You're good. You're good.
I don't care.
Copyrighted.
Oh no, I'm now owned by Disney.
Oh, no. No! That's bad.
It really is.
Tucker is going to make a scan of the inn floor for any mice.
Perception roll.
At 12.
You do not see any inn mice, but I will say this: you do notice like one or two other people with a pink slip.
Tucker looks at the slip again and he says, well, it looks like a flyer, given that some other people have it too.
They probably got it from the mouse.
Why don't you go ask them, Wiggs?
I will. I'm
Um,
gonna approach someone.
Wiggs, you approach a familiar half-orc you talked about just a few days ago with Slime Jim, and he kind of looks at you and he goes, "Oh, you're back again. Enjoying the drinks and the night atmosphere?"
Yeah, I was curious too how you got the pink slip in your hand.
Oh, he goes, "Oh, this? Pfft, some fancy boy elf gave it to me."
Oh, does the party hear this?
Yes.
Alright, so go walk back to the party. This
So that-
mouse is a shapeshifter.
Oh, I thought you were just insulting the fancy boy elf for a second.
Oh, that would be a nasty bird.
Was he short or something?
Oh,
you can't just
Oh.
compare halflings to mice. Even I know that.
all right.
Well,
So there's a shape-shifting mouse giving out flyers.
Well, Tucker looks at the flyer and he says, I'd like to meet the shape-shifting mouse for myself. You guys want to check it out tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I will say this. As you guys kind of head off for the night, one thing that happens, Annalisa, as you're angrily packing your bags away, you do hear a squeak on the corner of your room.
Annalisa freezes and she slowly turns around.
There is a light brown mouse that seems to be giving you a bow and is walking towards you on its hind legs.
Annalisa's slowly starting to reach into her bag of holding.
Who's crazy now?
and
Reaching for her axe and very slowly.
the mouse kind of stops after it gets a little close to you, and it produces a small pink slip, and it puts it on the ground in front of you, and scurries off.
Can I see where it scurries off to?
It scurries it like scurries under your door. Like, it definitely shouldn't be able to, because your door has like a very low exit. Like like you don't know how the fuck it scurried under your door, but it scurried under your door and out of the room.
Annalisa is now convinced this is how the slime got in her room.
The mouse is a slime.
She then goes over and she sort of nudges the paper with her foot.
It's a piece of paper, and you feel that with your toe, I guess.
She reaches down and sort of like, I don't know, she gets like a handkerchief and like picks it up with that.
As you pick it up, you clearly saw that once again it's like a small business card. And as you pick it up, you read on the front of it in gaudy calligraphy, "Waffles, Wandering Wanderers Emporium, something or another off."
Annalisa just stares at this and, you know, she like wants to say something, but no one's there. And this has just been quite the day for her. So she kind of lets out a sigh, like, this might as well happen, I guess.
And underneath the "something or another off," it says, "Coming tomorrow to a vine grove near you."
Annalisa thinks that maybe she should tell her parents, but she has to finish packing first.
It is the next day. You see a few. I'm assuming. Annalisa, are you gonna tell your parents in the morning what's kind of happening?
Yeah.
Your parents are very confused as well as you kind of tell them about this mouse. They're kind of like, "Huh, okay," and that's weird. And parents kind of like, I'll come check this out too. It says it's coming here, so I think we'll be able to find it pretty easy." And Seraphina's kind of like, "Okay, I'll take care of the paperwork and see what Lanu will be discovering today in his expedition down." And he and Perrin kind of goes looks at you and goes, "Let's go take a look."
All right.
And you guys start wandering towards the town circle where the obelisk actually kind of is. You do see a few people are gathered there. I will say this: Ordo, Wiggs, and Tucker, you are once again probably awake at your normal times, with Tucker waking up the latest. Do you guys want to head there first, or what are you guys doing? Are you guys having a breakfast? Like, what's going on?
Tucker, like, upon last night finding the clothes on his bed,
Yeah.
does he know who it's from looking at the note?
Insight roll. Will determine whether or not you can recognize the handwriting, kind of deal.
All right, that's a 9.
I would also like to point out that Ordo hasn't written anything in this group's presence.
Yeah, you don't know.
Potentially
You
his
do not
name on
know.
like
You do not
the
know.
innkeeper thing, but that's it.
You do
I'm
not
given
know.
the language. Okay, he rolled a 9 anyway.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you do not know.
Tucker spends a couple of minutes sniffing the new clothes and determining that they're not funky.
No, they're
Puts
not.
it.
Did you say sniffing?
Yes, he sniffed the clothes.
Taken
And
after Ordo.
and he puts them in his backpack, and the next morning he's just like, well, guys, I think I have a new fan.
Why do you say that?
Someone left me a little present in my room last night.
Someone left a little present in my room last night too. I think it was one of those mice, but it wasn't a pink slip. I'll tell you that.
Tucker raises his eyebrow at Ordo, and he's going to say, I got clothes, not
Oh,
drawings."
oh, you got clothes. That's way better. This is way better than what I got.
Tucker grins a little bit, and he like pats him on the shoulder, and he says, "Don't worry, big guy. We'll get you some fans too soon enough."
I would like that. It would be nice.
Maybe you can start off with does Ordo have hair?
No, Annalisa gave him conditioner and like 2-in-1 shampoo, but I don't think he has
I
any.
don't think
I do not have
Luxodons have hair.
No, I do not have
Hair
that. I
stuff?
absolutely do not.
I think he has
Uh,
like you know how outfits have kind of like a hair or two here and there kind of deal. I think that's the max a Luxodon would have.
Yeah.
Tucker is going to say, well, maybe we could start off by like getting a nice wig, and he runs.
We
Tucker runs
already
his
have
fingers.
a nice wig.
Get him a toupee!
not wigs as in her. I mean wigs as in,
Oh.
and he runs his finger through his curls.
His
His
luscious
luscious
Ordo is
curls.
very lost. He's just not sure. Wigs like what?
Like you know what? We'll talk about it later.
I would like that.
Wiggs, you awaken as well, and today's the day that Waffle's Wondrous Wandering Emporium seems to be coming into town. And as you wake up, you see Ordo and Tucker talking in the lobby of the inn. What do you do?
Before I leave
Yeah.
my room,
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna change my identity for this.
Okay.
Ooh, getting spicy.
Ooh, what are you changing into?
I'm just gonna change into like a female human, still keeping like same hair color, things like that. Obviously, I'm still wearing the same clothes,
Yeah.
so it's not the best disguise, but just enough to make people go, "Wait a second."
Wasn't she an elf before?
Kinda like that.
Okay, yeah. You walk down now as a human instead of an elf. It's slightly off-putting as your face is a little more round, your ears are less sharp. Um, you're a little shorter, and everyone you just kind of look at her. You have your own individual reactions, I suppose.
Ordo just
So,
happily.
so wait, so she still looks like what we know her to look like, just a little bit different.
Like she looks human now, and not elf. In
Tucker blinks at her and goes, "Dude, what happened to your face?"
No. I think it's her hair.
Her, her,
I hope
her,
the haircut is the exact same, by the way. I really hope.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Your hair
Does-
just has a lot more volume to it. I don't know what it is today.
It's not her hair, Ordo.
That's
Cutting your
interesting.
bangs doesn't change your face that much.
You'd be surprised.
So, can we see her ears? Like, does Wiggs's...
yeah, Wiggs isn't exactly hiding the fact she changed, but to the best of my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, Kelly. But it's more along the lines of that, like, you could have sworn she was an elf just yesterday.
We know she was an elf just yesterday. We saw her. We had a whole conversation about it. Tucker is going to turn to Ordo and be like, she was an elf, Ordo. She's human now.
Oh. I didn't know elves could do that. Very,
He
very
squints.
strange.
Tucker squints and leans forward, and he's like, "Is this some kind of illusion magic?"
You can try to see if it is.
Tucker tries to see if it's illusion magic.
Give me an
Ordo also
Arcana
tried.
roll. Give me an Arcana roll, I guess, unless you have like a spell that detects magic.
I have actually, I have the detect magic ritual. But
Okay, you spend 10 minutes, like you're like, all right, guys, wait a moment. You spend 10 minutes doing the ritual, and you detect no you detect no transfiguration magic whatsoever.
I detect absolutely no transfiguration magic.
Transmutation is what I meant. Fuck.
Transmutation magic. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Tucker-
That's just an Ordo translation instead of fucking. Sorry.
Tucker is glaring at her, and he's going to try and poke her face.
Does Wiggs move out of the way?
Sure. Wiggs will try to dodge it.
Give me a dexterity roll and a poking roll. Both of you just give me dexterity rolls. Both of you just give me dexterity rolls. See who pokes and dodges.
Just a flat dexterity
Flat
roll.
dex. Yep.
13.
Alright. 6.
You try to poke her, like you assume she's not gonna move around, but she kind of just goes whoop.
Tucker is going to glare at her more, and he's going to say, "All right, so you either something weird is going on with you physically, or you were using illusionary magic yesterday because you were a human making yourself look like an elf. Which is it?"
It is neither.
Oh, great. Mind giving us an explanation then?
Nope.
Tucker is going to look at Ordo for backup here.
I don't know what to tell you.
You're okay with this?
I can't not be.
Yes, you can. You can very much not be okay with this. There's something weird going on here. She's...
Tuck. Last night, Wiggs told us that a tiny little mouse handed her this pink slip. I think a lot of weird things are going on, and this just doesn't This just doesn't. This isn't as weird as the caterpillars, okay? This is not as
Caterpillars,
weird as
are
the
you
caterpillars.
talking? What
Don't.
caterpillars?
I don't want to get into it right now.
Tucker is going to rub his temples.
We have a Kiwi cult leader here who is the town healer, and this is the weirdest thing for you. Just I don't know. Some people just. It's maybe she had a makeover.
A makeover doesn't change you from an elf into a human.
I don't know what to tell you. I tried to detect magic and I could not detect any magic. Any transmutation magic.
Since Ordo brought up the I don't want to metagame or anything, but Ordo brought up the mouse and Wiggs called the mouse a shapeshifter.
I would say that the thought could cross your mind, but you're probably not like thinking she's immediately a changeling or nothing.
Okay, he's going to like glare at her and he's going to say, "There's something up with you, and I'm going to figure out what."
If you do, let me know, because my past is a mystery.
Well, if you want to know yourself, maybe sharing some information would be beneficial to you too.
But there's no information to share.
Tucker rubs his temples and he kind of misses Annalisa because in his head he's pretty sure that Annalisa would probably side with him, and he's going to like smear his palm down his face and he's going to say, "Let's just go to this waffle emporium place." And he kind of just starts
You're making
walking
waffles?
out.
We're making waffles.
In the morning. I'm making waffles. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'll stop.
no, I love the reference. You guys head over to the town center where you see a small group of about a dozen to a dozen and a half people with these pink slips, and a few more who just seem to have come out of pure curiosity from being told the story. And you see Perrin and Annalisa there as well. What do you guys do? You guys go to hang out with Perrin and Annalisa, or are you guys going to just kind of vibe on your own?
Ordo definitely approaches Perrin and Annalisa.
So does Tucker. He approaches Annalisa in specific.
I'm just gonna
Annalisa-
follow behind.
Yeah, Annalisa kind of like looks over at them and she kind of like, nods the head to Ordo and Wiggs. And when she sees Tucker, she just sends him the biggest death glare and then looks away. Like, she has nothing to say. She just kind of like stares at him with an abundance of hatred. And then looks away.
Tucker is going to freeze and he's going to be like, "Ah, crap, she found out I put that slime in her shampoo." Internally, he's going to assume that's the reason.
Yeah. Before you guys can meet, before Perrin actually says anything, you hear a set of clops coming from the far end of the road, and you see a small cart pulled by two mules coming towards the town center. And the small cart looks surprisingly plain, and it just parks itself not too far away from the obelisk, but a male-coated elf comes from the front of the cart and jumps down almost unceremoniously and kind of just starts walking up to the middle of the cart. His gait is almost like what you would see in something akin to like the Ministry of Silly Walks, but instead of like being over exaggerated, it's just kind of like he's leaning back a little bit, taking a slightly like joltier steps as he walks over. He takes out a wand from his pocket, which is surprisingly long for what the pocket should hold, and taps on the side of the cart. And once he taps on the side of the cart, there is a large opening as the cart seems to explode open, and a massive sign reading Waffles Wandering Wanderers Emporium shoots up from the inside of the cart and all the way onto the top. And as you guys look at this really strange cart, you see clockwork mechanisms shooting out with great speed and surprising reliability that seem to house things like racks, t-shirts, swords, wands, a whole load of stuff comes out, and Waffles doesn't seem very happy with some of those. He pushes a few back in, takes a few back out, and like then you see like his ham sandwich comes out from one corner. And he's like, "Ooh, wait!" He points to the crowd. He's like, "One moment." And he goes to pick up the ham sandwich and starts eating. But then you see a small brown mouse starting to go over and through the racks as the mouse seems to be inspecting and putting small price tags on each and every single one of the hangers that house some of these corny novelty teas. And as you kind of watch this amazing and weird spectacle, no one moves immediately. And then Waffles, with their mouth full, kind of goes, "Store's open."
What?
Tuck.
What?
I'm gonna hardcore approach the cart.
You hardcore approach the cart, and
Black Friday shopping, just throwing people off to the side.
the entire groups, like there are people who are hesitant to join, but Wiggs is like the first person to start approaching the cart. And Wiggs, you kind of look into the cart, and one of the amazing things is like the inside of the cart itself. When you kind of look past all the racks and stuff, is like this giant black void of whatever. You're not sure. I think what you could immediately assume is like this is a wondrous wandering emporium of holding. But like there seems to be way too many things to just fit in this cart. And as you kind of look around and you kind of start reading a lot of the small minutia, like you look at this one wand rack that kind of popped out, and on the bottom it says like maybe cursed, I don't know, but the mouse immediately starts running up and covers that and like lays down like acting cute for you, but it's very clearly covering the might be cursed sign. I'll say Wiggs notices that. Everyone else is still kind of like, what the fuck is happening?
That's
Oh,
gonna be the first item I look at.
It seems to be a set of wands. I would say relatively unremarkable. Now, for those who aren't in the game, this is the subscriber and the follower shop where you guys actually get to suggest items to put into here, and the players get to choose items they want to buy. So if you want to spend channel points, it's 10,000 channel points to put in an item. You can, or you can actively, or if you subscribe, you'll get a free item put in there, guaranteed. And if you are already subscribed, you could buy more items by spending those channel points. It is a bit expensive, primarily because this is a subscriber primary benefit. But we actually have like 14 items in here that are really cool that subscribers have given, and I love it. By the way, Vi says hi to you guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
But yeah, that's kind of what's happening now. Wiggs is seems to be like immediately interested in this thing. What about everybody else?
Tucker immediately also goes forward,
Okay.
but he's like drawn to like the t-shirts, the sunglasses, like all the corny novelty items.
There are fanny
he's
packs galore.
He definitely starts trying on the fanny
Is
pack.
there a fanny pack of holding?
There's no fanny pack of holding yet. Cough, cough. Someone should put that in. There's no fanny pack of holding, but there are a lot of novelty fanny packs for sure.
Tuck is looking at all of them and is totally wowed by them. He's really impressed.
Ordo and Elisa, what's going on, Elise?
I think Ordo, after seeing the excitement in both Tuck and Wiggs, he follows suit, but with a little less enthusiasm. Not like begrudgingly, just not as enthusiastic.
Yeah, you're like, okay, this is interesting, but you're not like, oh my god, this is really cool. Yeah, we got you.
Right.
Yeah, Annalisa turns to her dead parent and is like, well, I suppose that's the mouse that made its way into my bedroom last night.
He goes, "Yeah, that is definitely an issue. A lot of people seem to have these. A lot of people seem to have these slips. So I'm gonna have to talk to this waffles guy. Waffles? Like the food? All right, I'm gonna talk to this waffles guy." He goes, and you do hear a call out from the side, and you hear, "Oh, for those who wish to make purchases, make sure to talk to my associate Maple." And you see the small brown mouse kind of go behind a tiny cash register and squeak aloud for people.
That's adorable.
I know. I love
Annalisa's
mice.
like, I'm not sure I'm more comfortable with a more sentient creature being in my bedroom.
um, and he kind of just you kind of see that the mouse kind of like takes a gold coin and just kind of like clinks it onto the um counter area and kind of puts it into the cash register, which once again looks impossibly small to hold that many gold coins. But you assume this wandering emporium of holding has a lot of space to hold a lot of things.
I'm gonna take the wands.
Okay, I will say this. I'm going to put this in for his season just redeemed a item for Waffles Emporium. You do find a fanny pack of holding, but at the moment it is a little. It is currently out of your price range of about 4,000 gold pieces.
Understandable.
I will say this.
Wait,
For anyone, because you're looking, Tucker, you do find a fanny pack of gold of holding. It's a Hissington just put in the item. It's super easy to put in, so it's nothing I need to work out the stats for. There's a fanny pack of holding in there. It does cost 4,000 gold pieces. I will say this though: all these items can be purchased in the future. Waffles Wanderers Emporium is coming back for sure. But yeah, there is also a fanny pack of holding now.
is the professor around?
The professor is not around at this exact moment. He is actually doing work with Serafina at the moment.
Tucker is going to look at Ordo and give him the biggest puppy eyes that he could muster.
Which thing are you looking at?
The fanny pack of holding.
As much as I would love to buy this, honestly, for myself, I don't quite think I have that much money.
Tucker looks so disappointed. He's like, you don't?
Trust me, I wish I did. You said 4,000 gold stuff?
It's 4,000 gold pieces. A normal.
Yeah.
Let me look at the nice price of a normal.
I'm roughly 3,800 gold away.
I mean, we do have 50 off.
I will say this. A normal bag of holding is 2,500 gold pieces, so it'll be 2,500 gold pieces.
Gotcha.
Man, he puts it back really disappointed. That would be so cool. It would look so great with like an oversized t-shirt and like the fanny pack over it, like a belt, you know?
Oh yeah.
The Waffle just kind of walks up to you and he goes, "Well, you're right. See, here's the cool thing about this item. This item was made by the fantastic craftsman from the old guild nation named Hissington. Fantastic little item, and for a steal of a deal, 2,500 gold pieces."
Tucker looks at Waffles and he goes, "We're kind of broke right now. Do you have anything a little cheaper?"
"Oh, you're broke. Here, I can interest you in this." He kind of pulls out a cast. And he goes, "This photosynthetically beautifully cast will fix you up immediately."
Oh. Tucker makes grabby hands at it just to look at it.
You look at it, it's literally just a cast.
Well, actually, Waffles, is it?
He goes,
I-
yep, that's the name.
You seem like a purveyor of fine, exquisite goods, right?
He gives you a wink when you say that. They give you a
What
wink
if
when
I
they say
told
that.
you? What if I told you that I had this absolutely incredibly unique treasure?
They seem to kind of like, Go
Let
on.
me break it down for you. All right.
Oh shit.
And Ordo reaches into his bag and pulls out the holy 2-in-1 Kiwi shampoo and conditioner. Now,
God damn it.
Waffle, I don't know if you know about the great kiwi in the sky, but I do suggest that if you have time, you talk to our wonderful, wonderful Reverend Hissington. And boy, oh boy, that man is just a wealth of knowledge. Or yeah, it's just a wealth of knowledge. Now, I would like to make a deal with you. This
An extravagant deal coming up. I'm loving it.
this 2-in-1 Kiwi shampoo and conditioner. Not only is it a 2-in-1 conditioner, shampoo and conditioner, which absolutely saves you time. And because I mean, who wants to spend all that time in while bathing, washing their hair with shampoo and then letting it sit for a bit and then rinsing it?
Not adventurous, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So why spend all that time when you could use a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner? You save plenty of time, less time that you can be attacked, and because this is from the great kiwi in the sky itself, this holy, holy kiwi shampoo conditioner, your eyes will never burn if it gets caught in your eyes. It is no tears.
You're gonna give me a
Hissington,
bluff
no
roll.
tears.
You're gonna give me a bluff roll. Because you ain't never tried this shit to the best of my knowledge. You're gonna give me a bluff roll. And we're
You
gonna.
are
Deception, I
absolutely
think.
correct.
Deception roll, thank you.
Did that just make it harder for me? No, I don't think it does. It's all.
Good luck.
Oh man, it can't just be persuasion. Oh right, yeah. You know what? I got a 6.
Can
But I
anyone
worked for it.
help out by virtue of having given this to him?
Nope.
Can Tuck help out by genuinely being really impressed and going, "Whoa!"
Yeah, sure. Give me a d20. If above a 10, you ate him. If not,
That's a 17.
All right, roll advantage there, Ordo.
Oh, come on. Oh, 12.
Damn it.
The dude got above 20 in insight, so.
Oh well, it was literally impossible for me.
We could have got that 20. Who knows? He goes, I do like it. He kind of takes it and he uncorks it a little bit, gives it like a little sniff. He goes, gratuitous amounts of kiwi. Very, very impressive. I've got to say, this is the most impressive 2-in-1 conditioner shampoo that would damage my scalp but save me quite a bit of time in an adventure situation that I have ever seen in the past 20 to 30 minutes.
I'm sure it is.
I'll purchase it off you.
Well, I mean, this is a holy shampoo, holy 2-in-1. So I can't just part ways with it very easily. You have, I mean, what are you willing to offer?
50 gold pieces.
Give it back. Right now, give it back. Absolutely not. How dare you? How dare you? Do you take me a fool, Waffles?
He kind of looks at you and he goes, I dare you with my mouth, good sir, and I take you a Luxodon.
At this point, Ordo kind of leans over to Annalisa, is like, did you understand what he said there? Is this some of your fancy people talk?
She leans back and Steph, you did you did say like I dare. Can you repeat what you said, Steph? Because I
He
kind of
says,
heard it.
he says, I dare you with my mouth, good sir. They said, I dare you with my mouth, good sir, and I take you a Luxodon.
Annalisa kind of just leans over, is like, I'm fairly certain he's saying, in crude terms, to take that shampoo bottle and stick it somewhere.
Yes. All right. I understand. So, Ordo takes the shampoo bottle back.
He goes, oh, but I warn you, sticking it somewhere may be unhealthy for you. Can I get you
That's
finger
okay.
guns? Gives you finger guns.
Ordo does not reciprocate the finger guns. Ordo absolutely does not reciprocate the finger guns.
He seems to be enjoying it. They seem to be enjoying their time.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they are.
They
That
seem to be
being
enjoying
said,
their time.
do I happen to see a stuffed penguin around?
Yes, actually, as you're looking around the wares, you do see quite a few items. And let me put it like this: you guys can tell me the items you're most interested in. I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to the first few items, you're probably gonna be buying things more as a group versus as individuals. Because some of them are pretty expensive. Some of them are only 500 gold pieces, but some of them are also like 19,000 gold pieces. So you will have to like buy as a group to take what you think is important as a group for at least the first few levels, and then eventually you'll be able to buy things on your own. But yeah, as you look around, why don't you read off the description for the item, Neville, that you're looking at right now?
Okay. Well, there are two that I'm interested in looking at, but the first one is a penguin doll, crafted by Archimedes. Archimedes.
Yep.
Okay, I thought so. Crafted by Archimedes, a lead crafter in the Plush Gush Guild from the old guild nation. It's a penguin doll. There's an enchantment on it, but who knows what it is? Rumor has it's helpful to adventurers in fights. Roughly 100 gold pieces.
Roughly, yeah. And what's the other one you're looking at?
A seed. It's a big seed. Usually seeds don't grow to be the size of a thumb. I mean, some do, but it's not a mango or avocado seed. No idea what it does. Probably bred by a cool botanist. Roughly 100 gold pieces.
Yeah.
My God.
Would I be able to potentially do a like a nature check to see if I can
Yes.
discern any more information about the seed?
100%.
Awesome. That's going to be a 15? 16. Sorry.
Ooh, okay. This is interesting. The seed is not a seed you've ever seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, it's not an avocado seed, it's not a mango seed, but it's a pretty big seed, at least the size of your thumb. So that's pretty darn big there. You haven't seen it before. I will say this. It doesn't look like it's a dead seed, which means like it doesn't mean like it's been petrified or anything like that. It looks like a seed that you could probably plant, something will grow from it for sure.
Okay.
But you just don't know what it is.
Gotcha.
A kiwi seed.
It is a giant kiwi seed.
That's what I was worried about, honestly. I really don't want to. I really don't want to buy a seed and get my hopes up, and then it's a big old kiwi.
It is not.
Ono might have to convert.
Kiwi. It is not a kiwi.
Gotcha.
It is not a giant kiwi seed.
Awesome. So waffles.
Yes.
Can you I know there's I'm assuming, are these descriptions like
These
out
descriptions
to be
are
read?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Okay. Waffles, you silly old
Now hold on.
So
I'm
this
quite
penguin
young.
doll you have.
I am quite young.
Oh, well, yes. Anyways, so this penguin doll you have.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little more about it, or
It's
just what's on the card?
absolutely plush-tastic. I have given it many of hugs. The penguin doll, as you kind of look at it, they kind of bring it out to you. It stands about 2 feet tall, So it is definitely huggable size for sure. It's a big
Well,
old.
for Ordo, anything. He'll hug anything. So
The doll
shit, he'll
itself
hug
is
anything.
the doll itself is most certainly a huggable size doll, and they kind of give it a squeeze to show how huggable it is, and it kind of lets out a little penguin squawk, and they go. Besides the plushability of this beautiful, beautiful creature, doll mix thing, gem.
Wait, what?
It is warded.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's all you got on it?
Yeah,
It's warded?
it's warded.
Hmm.
You can't mess with the merchandise too much. After all, you ruin the merchandise. How are you going to give it to the customer?
Of course. No, I understand. I understand. Let me think upon this decision
Mm-hmm.
before I make
All right.
any rash.
Does anybody else have anything immediately they want to take a look at?
Yes. Annalisa's going to be.
You cut out there, Annalisa. Is it me or did Katie cut out?
That's you. I can hear it just fine.
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay,
you
let me get in and out of the Discord call. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back in.
All right, can you hear me now?
Oh, perfect. Yeah, all right, that was totally me. All right, go for it.
I wonder how it will record on the video, whether I'll be there or not. All right.
It'll be what I heard essentially.
Okay. So Annalisa browses the clothing section, and she comes across some sort of cloak.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like it's some sort of cloak of invisibility.
Mm-hmm. So you're looking at the child-sized cloak of invisibility.
Yes.
So Annalisa, what happens essentially is as you're looking around, you kind of have to go through these clockwork things. So you're kind of like pulling on the clothing rack to make it turn into and out of the darkness, and eventually you see this section come up that says "Child Section," and you eventually come up and you see this child-sized cloak of invisibility. If you'd like to read out the information, go ahead.
All right. Old Guild Nation weaver Lou Craven made this small cloak for his daughter. Can likely fit a halfling with great ease. Still put in the children's clothing section nonetheless. Roughly 1,500 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm. You see the mouse kind of like is on the hanger, kind of squeaking at you, as if it's bartering with you.
Annalisa looks at the mouse, and she sort of raises an eyebrow and is like, Maple, was it? Are you aware of what the Peeping Tom laws are in Vine Grove?
Maple squeaks.
Annalisa goes to and turns to go talk to Waffles.
Waffles is currently hugging this plush with Ordo chatting them up, and Waffles puts the plush down for a moment, and they go, "Ooh, the governess's daughter. How do you do?"
Well, more or less all right. I had quite the unexpected visitor last night in my room.
They kind of tap their chin and they go, I'm sorry to hear that.
Annalisa sort of goes, we have quite strict laws for peeping toms, you know. And
That's a very good idea. There are quite a few ravenous people out there that should be well tamed and persecuted to the law's full ability.
yes, people or anything sentient, I should think. Anything.
Yes, should a dragon have come into my room, I would have been quite angry as well.
Wait, what did he say?
Should a dragon come into my room, I would be quite angry as well.
Annalisa goes, well, mine seem to be more of the mouse variety, if you catch my drift.
He kind of holds out his hand and is like, throw it. And then gives you a wink. They obviously catch your drift, but they are clearly dodging the question or statement or concept.
It's like, so she goes, if you don't want me to press charges for peeping, you'd better give me some sort of discount.
Give me an intimidation roll.
Alrighty. Beep, beep, beep. Intimidation. Alright. That is a 21.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. You guys are very close to one another. They go, And at that point, they kind of like summon up something in their hands, and you do kind of see on the front of the book they summon in their hands is labeled Vine Grove Bylaws. And they kind of start reading through it real quick, and they put on kind of a ridiculously round spectacles as they're reading. Their eyes are ridiculously like enlarged. And they go, yes, it seems that, once again, you're speaking of sapient or sentient creatures, of which, to my knowledge, none came into your room last night. Though, I see you're distressed. I believe a non-sentient creature might have given you a discount card.
Non-sentient, you say? And yes, so you're saying a non-sentient creature is currently doing math and running your cash register.
So can a pet dog. If I ask my beautiful hunting dog Whispers, who is currently invisible and non-existent, to hunt me 3 doves, it shall.
This guy is talking pretty cool for a guy who got a 21 on intimidation.
I will say Waffles isn't level 1. Let me put it like that. But they are talking pretty cool. But I will say your intimidation wasn't in vain. Let me put it like that.
And Lisa kind of crosses her arms. It's like, well, I suppose we could take it to court then.
They kind of look around. I don't really see a court.
Oh, we have our procedures here, don't you worry. As for the punishment, well, it could be imprisonment, or you could simply not be allowed back. But I'm personally leaning more towards imprisonment.
Ooh, they don't seem too. They don't seem too worried. But they do. It's more along the lines of they're not really worried about what you're saying. They're just kind of there to appease the Karen in the room. If that makes sense. They're kind of like, ooh, that is very frightening indeed. So tremendously, exorbitantly frightening that. I should give you something or another off.
I'm not as bargain savvy as Annalisa, so is he asking for a price?
He's asking for the coupon. The coupon you had said something or another off.
Mm-hmm.
So they said the coupon you had said something or another off. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So they said the coupon you had said something or another off. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So
1 second.
I put on my stream manager just to make sure I was watching the stream in live and making sure that I could clip anything I needed to clip, and it ended up going off of mute and just recycling itself over and over again. Basically, like, you recognize that they had a thing where it was like the coupon said something or another off, so it's an uncertain deal of uncertain proportions. Let me put it like that.
All right. So Annalisa holds up the coupon and sort of goes, I don't think that 50% off is going to cut it.
They go, it doesn't say 50% off. It says something or another off. And they give you a wink. And they go, what are you interested in?
She says, I'm interested in having, it said 50 something or other?
It says something or another off. The 50 was the other one. The 50 was the other one. Yours is completely different, just something or another off.
Oh.
It kind of comes off as like a name your own price thing.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was confused. I thought it was 50. So she goes, 100%.
They kind of snort.
Counter offer?
What are you interested in? Depends on the item entirely.
She holds up the cloak of invisibility, the child-size cloak of invisibility.
They kind of stroke their chin, and they go, yes, a child-size article for the young governess. This could work out greatly for you. They stroke their chin, and they go, I see you want this item quite bad, though I can't say that I could sell it at 100% off, nor even 50%. How about I offer you a special Waffles program deal? And they bring out a contract, and they kind of reach all the way in, and they go, hold on 1 second. And then they kind of like half their body goes into the wandrous wandering emporium's body, right? And they pull something out, and they pull out a contract. And they go through the pages, and it's like, throw this one away, throw that one away, throw that one away, throw that one away, and they eventually settle on a single page. And on top, you see "Rent to Own," written in big letters, and on the bottom it says, with monthly payments equal to that of, and then there's like an underline as if to fill in the stuff. I, so and so, underline, as if to fill it in, hereby decree that I have purchased this item and will pay off the price over time. Should I miss a payment, such and such exorbitant prices shall happen, etc., etc. Like, there's a lot of terms here that's basically saying you're renting to own this. You pay a bill once a month. And you could roll to investigate this further, see if there's anything else within the contract that you might want to negotiate, but that would be an investigation roll.
Yeah, Annalisa is going to say she's going to ask to look it over, and she's going to bring it to her dad to review with her.
Fair enough. Roll with advantage investigation.
Roll with advantage investigation. Gotta bring up my PDF again. Okay. All right. That's an 8.
With advantage?
Yeah.
Everything seems pretty kosher. As you kind of look through it, there's nothing that seems to be out of the ordinary. It seems that you pay once a month. I think you do immediately recognize that the missed payment fee is a little expensive. Um, but this is kind of like the first deal you've ever heard of it. Usually people just buy things straight out. A rent-to-own agreement is quite a novel concept. But your father doesn't seem quite a bit harm in it. I don't think you do. You don't see like your father's tricking you, obviously.
Yeah.
But if there's anything in there that is suspicious, you haven't noticed it.
All right. So Annalisa is going to go back to Waffles and say, I will sign this with the agreement that, and she holds up the coupon, the late fees are off.
They smile and they go, that is something or another, and take the coupon from you and tuck it into their pocket. The late fees will be off for late payments. And
I need one of
fair
those in
deal.
real life. Jeez.
I think
What?
that's
Oh
a
my
fair
god.
deal. Say again?
I need one of these in real life. God, my credit would be so much better.
They go, this seems to be a fair deal. I am happy with that. And they go, please sign here, 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 initial here. You know, that whole stuff, right?
Yeah.
And as you initial here, they go, what is your down payment going to be?
Her down payment is going to be, hold on, let me, her down payment is going to be, let's just go 100 gold.
Fantastic. 100 gold pieces it is. They take the gold. They put it on the counter, and you see Maples putting each gold in. Every once in a while, Maples bites a gold piece to make sure it's legit, and then puts it in.
How dare they assume that gold is not legit?
And they seem to be enjoying that, and they go, fantastic. Here you go, and you see you now own a child-sized cloak of invisibility. As you kind of look at it, what price? They tell you it'll be 100 gold pieces for every month, and as per stated in the contract, until it is fully paid, the cape will only work in proportion to the amount you've paid off.
Oh my god.
Oh, oh no. Oh no.
So does that mean, like, is that a wide area of effect, or is that like just like
a
a
wide
certain
area.
percentage?
So think about it like this: if you've paid off 10%, the cape functions at 10% functionability.
All right,
Like, so are we talking about like 10% opacity or 10% or 10% coverage, like surface area
all
coverage?
right, she's
I would
paid
say
off 6%.
Yeah,
or 6 or 7%, so like almost 10%. Yeah.
because I didn't expect this exactly to happen as it did. I'm going to be saying overall effective should be 6%. 6% of the time allotted that would have been normal, as well as 6% of the effectivity. So it's definitely going to be possible that instead of having perfect invisibility, you will instead have a level of
Translucence.
like instead of being perfectly invisible, you will be 6% invisible essentially. It will give you a bonus instead of the flat out invisibility bonus. It'll give you like a smaller bonus for now, but you do get it, and you have signed the contract. That's just something you and your father did not realize when reading the contract.
We're both distracted, it would seem.
Yeah.
Perrin's really good at business.
Yeah. Serafina is a lot better, but Perrin's pretty good. Yeah.
Perrin was.
When Perrin kind of sees this, like, he goes, "Damn it." He goes, "Well, I mean, still looks pretty good on you, hun."
Thank you, Father.
So you put 100 gold pieces down, and currently it is 6% of the price down and 6% of the functionability of this cloak of invisibility.
But hey, no late fees.
No late fees. All right. Did Wiggs or Tucker want to get anything?
He's not going to be able to get it, but he's definitely drawn to the dagger of aquatic propulsion. Made by the Triton blacksmith Camillo, this dagger is set to propel their user to any body of water it lands in or on, roughly 7,500 gold pieces.
Yeah, it's a wee bit expensive, eh?
Yeah, but Tucker, he kind of just picks it up and he starts like slashing at an invisible enemy and like making sound effects under his breath as he tests it out.
Waffles says, this guy knows how to test out the gear. And kind of just like gives you a pat on the back while going to handle other customers.
Tucker blushes and puts it back.
Wiggs, is there anything you want to get, Wiggs?
I was looking at You Shall Not Staff, created by the hermit druid Drunkle. Cast a wall of wind as a 15-foot wall in front of you, roughly 2,500 gold pieces. So I obviously can't afford it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna like hold it in my hand and then like with my other hand like make whooshing sounds like as if I'm casting wall of wind.
Waffles walks by offering you a high five.
I'm a high five him.
You high five, it's epic. It's a solid thunk of a high five.
Tucker and Wiggs have the same brain cell.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to look at?
Tucker will look at the penguin since Ordo put it down.
Ordo, are you still interested in the penguin?
I am, but something just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know.
Okay. Tucker...
I mean, everything here is going to be sketchy. Let's just be real. If you pick up a haunted doll, so be it.
Nah. Nah. I know about haunted dolls.
Are they related to the Caterpillar Man again?
Please don't get me started.
As you pick up the as you take a look at the doll, it is Tucker. It is a very huggable doll.
So we know that there's Tucker's gonna call Waffles over.
Waffles kind of goes over and says, "Oh, don't tuck that away just yet. Let's talk shop."
Tucker looks at him or them, and he's going to say, "So what's the story behind this one?"
Well, they go, this is a penguin plushie.
Yeah, I can see that. I was hoping to get more elaboration.
They go, in all honesty, that's mostly what I know about it. I know it's warded, and that's really about it.
Warded with what?
They shrug and they go, from what I hear, it helps people in adventures doing fighting stuff. But honestly, I wouldn't have a shell of a clue.
How do you know that it's warded in the first place? Is there a mark on it or something?
They bring a tag. They show the tag in the back, and there's like a little seal that's like a little magic seal that's kind of like, yep, this is a warded product, you know?
Can Tucker look at the seal and see if he recognizes it, or...
Sure, give me a investigation roll.
Investigation. That is a 22.
As you investigate the role, first and foremost, the seal is definitely not faked, which is something that you've been trained by Professor Lanu to look for, which is good. But I would say this: it's probably an older seal. This seems to be a very old but very well kept doll or plushie. So while the seal is most certainly not faked, it's probably from a old guild you're not aware of. The sign itself says it's from the Plush Gush Guild, which you might not have heard of directly, but you're aware that it is definitely possible. Like, this does not look fake at all.
Tucker is going to look at Waffles and he's going to say, "Where'd you pick this guy up?"
They're gonna go. Well, I once met a man who came from a land filled with penguins. Or so they say. I don't truly believe in that. Penguins don't actually exist.
Do penguins? General question: do penguins exist in this
Penguins
world?
totally exist. They're just messing with you. And they go. But they assured me in this land of penguins beyond, perhaps just the North Pole, but in this land of penguins beyond, it was of aid in times of need. And they sold it to me, and I bought it. And I've hugged it many a moon on cold and warm nights.
How much did you pay for it?
Spoilers. It gives you a wink.
Tucker crinkles up his nose and he's going to say, "Well, I think I should get a discount on it since it's been used."
They go, "Ooh, do you have a discount card?"
Tucker is going to say no.
Sorry, and you kind of they kind of bring up further the stand, and the stand below it says discounts only applicable with discount cards, and it's like engraved in the stand itself.
All right, if I don't get a discount, then can I make you a deal?
They go, "Of course, let's make a deal."
Tucker is going to say, "For a lower price, I will make sure to hug and take care of this penguin just as you have."
Give me a persuasion roll with disadvantage. You're getting a disadvantage of that roll.
Why?
Because you probably would have done that either way. Waffles was expecting that either way.
You said disadvantage?
Yeah, disadvantage.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
2.
They go, someone who truly loves the doll would have done it anyways. You might not be mature enough to handle the doll.
Tucker glares at him and he's going to say, "Maybe you're not mature enough to handle the doll."
I have given it an arctically fantastic time here, and I fed it at least 3 salmon.
You don't even know what it does.
And yet I accept it with all of my heart.
Tucker looks really annoyed and he is going to put the doll back down.
That being said, Wiggs does have a discount coupon you are aware of. But yeah, you put the doll back down. The doll is only about 100 gold pieces, so it is pretty cheap comparatively to everything else. But yeah, those are the items you seem to be interested in. Are there any other items anyone else is interested in within this group? We have other items, such as I'm just reading these for the viewers at this point. We have the Cape of 9 Lives, which costs 19,000, so that'll take a little while to get to. The Boxers of Charisma, the Ring of Recall Song, the Jelly Bean Bag of Uncertainty, a Single Mirror, a Seed, the Ring of the Noid Adventurer, the Siren's Call, and the Decanter of Endless Water. Some of these are a lot more expensive, but that's kind of what we're dealing with in this Hosh Posh shop.
If I couldn't have gotten the invisibility cloak, I would have gone for the mirror, but I can't afford it now.
The mirror, funny enough, is worth 137 gold pieces, 13 silver, and 6 copper. Specifically requested by the person who made it.
Neville, why?
It's a very unique mirror.
It's a mirror of
It
makes
is-
you do math.
The mirror.
Oh God! No! It's not cursed. It's not cursed.
No, that makes you do math because you have to convert all your gold into silver and copper.
Amazing. But yeah, if there's anything else you guys are interested in, feel free to tell me. Otherwise, you guys kind of spend the day both being half what annoyed and half what impressed by this display of random articulate things that just do stuff and exist in this weird kind of void.
Ordo, I feel, really wants the penguin doll. Neville really wants the seed because he's curious. Because I'm very curious about the seed.
Did Wiggs buy something? I forget.
No, I was just interested.
Wiggs didn't find anything within her price range, to the best of my knowledge.
Ordo, Waffles, come here real quick.
Waffles takes like a dramatically large step over to you. And it's then next to you.
85 gold for this penguin doll. I'll give you 85 gold right now. No questions asked, nothing, just 85 gold.
They give me a persuasion roll. But they are stroking their chin, thinking, is this a good idea?
They're not gonna think it's a good idea.
What'd you
9.
roll? They rolled a 1. So, unless you had
Pretty
gotten a
gold.
1, yeah. They go, You know what? I see you're a very huggable fella. You give me a
I
hug,
am a very huggable fella.
you give me a hug, and we'll make a deal.
Absolutely. And Ordo is a little reluctant, but so excited because nobody has asked him for a hug. And so he just grabs Waffles, says, "Don't expect this again," and then gives him the biggest, most warm, welcoming embrace he's given in weeks. Just
Aww.
a very tender, loving hug, but he's very unhappy that he has to give it to Waffles.
Saving it up for someone who don't deserve it.
I will say, when Waffles hugs you back, Waffles is a pretty damn good hugger as well. Not Ordo good hugging, but they are a pretty good hugger.
Come on.
Yeah.
He's as good as
And
Ordo.
they take 85 of your gold pieces, they give it to Maple, and Maple does the same thing, puts a few in, checks to make sure it's real, and then puts a few more in. So on and so forth, into the comically small and tiny cash register. And they go, the penguin's all yours. And they give it a little, like, bow around its neck as well. It's a cute little blue bow.
Gotcha. Ordo picks up the penguin and realizing that he never actually hugged this penguin, he still doesn't hug it yet.
Okay.
He's still uncomfortable. And so I think at this point, Ordo, thank you, Waffles, for your absolutely wondrous emporium. And then Ordo kind of walks away, and then he's gonna do the detect magic ritual on the penguin.
So this, as you detect magic wood, you realize this is uh, a penguin of warding. Against certain enemies, it will give you in a radius of 100 feet. It will give you guys a +1 to all attacks and damages against certain kinds of enemy, which, to the best of your knowledge, seems to be seals.
Really?
All right.
Seals?
Seals and
Why would we be fighting a seal?
seals and seal-like entities.
Well, we're going
Ordo,
to the beach, boys.
Ordo, you hear, even though Ordo has walked off in the distance, you just hear a very audible elephant sigh.
You can join
Off in the
Annalisa
distance.
in the I'm disappointed group.
Ordo, is Annalisa still like up at the Emporium, or
I don't know, she's probably off sulking to the side.
Listen,
Ordo walks over to Annalisa and just kind of plops down next to her, just very defeated.
Annalisa looks at him, looks at the doll, puts 2 and 2 together, and commiserates with him in silence.
You buy cheap, you get cheap. What am I gonna say?
No, I mean I know, but man, I just wanted it to be something not. Man, I can't go clubbing seat. Like, come on, man. Like that, I can't do that.
Maybe
Like
it's
Neville.
an evil seal. You don't
Neville
know.
Neville can't break through that. Okay, that is something that Neville does not have in him. If it's an evil seal, you're right. If it's an evil seal, I'll beat the expletives out of it. But
To be fair, what is the native predator of a penguin?
The seal.
let's see. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Everything makes sense. But that's the problem. Is it makes sense, and this place doesn't seem like it should make sense. Nothing about the place makes sense except for the fact that the penguin thing helps combat with seals. So
I will say this, and seal-like entities. So if you end up fighting anything that is seal related,
all right, if we fight
All right.
sealkins,
Wigs,
then
Wigs, it's very important that you learn polymorph.
Oh my god.
So you can fight. So you can fight seals as you fight a wig
Polymorph
seal.
things into seals.
That's great. All right. Anybody else? I also will say one thing. Unless the person explicitly said so, most of these items work well. The person had to explicitly say there's a catch to it for me to put a catch to it. So thank Archimedes as well.
yeah, thank you, Archimedes.
Thanks, Archimedes.
For all of the contributions you made to mathematics and physics. Thank you so much for all of that. I don't want to thank you for this penguin.
At this point, I think Tucker is going to head off to pick up his pen.
All right. And Wiggs? I'm assuming Wiggs is done as well.
Kelly, if you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Repeat it one more time.
Is Wiggs done as well?
Yes, Wiggs is done.
After a interesting day of shopping at Waffle's Wondrous Wandering Emporium, you guys hear mixed results from the townsfolk. Some people have gotten very amazing items at really cheap prices. Some people have gotten weird items at weird prices, and some people have gotten expensive items that work well or bad. It's been a hosh-posh of success for everybody around, and no one's quite sure what's going on, But in general, I think the consensus is very similar to what you guys have experienced. It's a mixed consensus. There are definitely people who are very much so intrigued with waffles, as well as people who are very peeved at waffles, to put it at bare minimum. But they all came out with a sense of wandering wonderment and an emporium, which is the best way to put it.
Steph, can I there's one thing that Ordo
Yeah.
wants to do.
Yeah.
Who was Tuck, you mentioned something about a wig, was it?
Uh,
Earlier?
Tuck is going to look at him and he says, "Yeah, like for your head to make it look like you have hair."
Where might one be able to get a wig?
Uh,
Do you
A
do you
barber
do you know?
a barber shop maybe, or a
Hmm.
wig shop,
Hey
or you can
DM,
just cut someone's hair off and make it yourself.
Ordo.
A disguise shop.
Yeah, is there anything like that around that doesn't involve me cutting somebody's hair off and then using it as my own yet?
I would say no. There's
No?
nothing like that around. No.
Gotcha.
Are there any hats?
There are hats. Yeah. There's like clothing shops, and the general store has some hats and whatnot.
That won't be enough. I need a wig. Ordo
Picturing Ordo with
For-
a very
for-
small hat.
Okay, you know what? Actually, Ordo with a really small hat might be okay. But Ordo's working on a plan, and he needs a wig.
I
Okay.
can't wait to see Ordo with like just a little spot of a toupee on his head.
I will say this. Yeah, you can find a small fashionable hat for like a gold.
No. No,
Tucker
I'm
will
very
buy it
focused.
for him.
Oh.
For 1 gold, Tucker gives Ordo a wink, and he's gonna say, "I've got you, big guy." And he's gonna slide a gold over and buy him the hat.
A single tear like starts to form in Ordo's eyes, and then he just, "Thank you, little one. I needed this." And he takes the hat and places it not in the center of his head, but like slightly off to the side.
Ooh.
But it kind of like do the Planters peanut have it off to the side? You know
Yeah.
what? Just yeah, and it just sits there. Just please let it sit there.
Yeah, it sits there.
Just, it doesn't fall off.
It does not fall off. No, it's got perfect adhesive to not fall off.
Gotcha. Awesome.
It looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
it looks
so much.
snazzy for sure.
Hmm.
All
The Fez.
right. After this somewhat disappointing day of shopping, you guys go back, retire, and the next day comes with, I guess, no ceremony. Waffles' Wandering Emporium is nowhere to be seen, and the town seems to be a little less lively, as that Wandering Emporium had brought in quite a bit of pizzazz for one day in the quiet town, especially when there wasn't like a festival or anything that was being held by the Good Barrels. And before everything happens, Lanu Chillin ends up calling everybody to the Good Barrel estate, including Tucker and everyone, and brings you all into a meeting room there.
I want to say Annalisa still is glaring at Tucker, and when she's not glaring at him, she's completely ignoring him.
Amazing. So,
Love that for me.
as you guys sit around, Lanu goes, well, I have good news for everyone, should you accept. My protege and I, as well as the heiress to the Good Barrel estate, will be traveling and doing some research on the commission of the guild, of the Oasis Republic. That being said, seeing how well versed everyone here is in combat as well as healing for some, I would love to extend the opportunity for you to join us. And he kind of looks specifically at Wiggs and Ordo, as the other two are already kind of on board. Plus, I believe we will need some level of buffer for the children.
Wait, does Tucker know that Annalisa was gonna be invited, or is this news to him?
First you're hearing of it!
Tucker is just like looking at Annalisa, kind of staring at her to see what her reaction to this is.
Annalisa is at the ignoring point. Like, her greeting is glaring, and then she just goes to ignoring. You know, it's like a hateful hello, and then just nothing else. So, but you can probably tell, Tuck, she's like not surprised by this at all. Her arms are just kind of crossed a little.
All right.
I would be honored to go on an adventure with my new friends. Ordo says with just a big smile on his face.
Wiggs?
I'll be happy to journey with you all so I can discover more about my past.
Lana goes, fantastic. Then I believe it is time we discuss where we go next. He kind of brings out a couple pieces of paper, and he goes, we have a few choices. First and foremost, there is a ruined settlement to the north called Cromble. Cromble used to be a relatively thriving city until the attack Clem did 70 plus years ago. Since then, very few people have visited it and taken account of what's happened, since it was infested with the dolls of the Clemening. We have been offered a commission to go there and discover what's happened, how it's happened, and if people survived, how did they survive, and where they went. Our second choice is to go straight to the guild capital and report on the findings that we've done here, as well as look forward to a new golem temple that had recently been discovered. And lastly, I hear there is some need of aid in Northbury. It's a couple days trip away, but we should be able to do either or. So I will leave this up to you. We could either go for, and with no uncertainty, I'm pretty sure there aren't going to be missing ruins anytime soon. We should be able to find most, if not all, and visit in due time. Though, of course, depending what happens, we may or may not be able to visit. Time is strange like that. So basically what he's telling you is that who knows what the fuck's going to happen in the near future. Your immediate quest, though, is among those three.
What was the last place you said?
Northbury. Northbury is a town across the forest. So the map you actually are given on the stream is across the forest in the woods. There's a city called Northbury. It is quite a bit of a distance away, but that is where one of your quests may lie. Cromble is that city to the north. It is ruined. And further towards the desert in the northeast is the Oasis Republic capital, which is where you guys will end up reporting either way. But from there, you guys could possibly go further north into the Golems County to learn more about one of their temples.
Why is Northbury?
Northbury, yeah.
What is the idea with going there?
Lano doesn't seem to know the full information either. He just seems to have the request for someone to visit to find out what's going on. That being said, from what you guys could tell, you could probably pass Cromble and then do one of those quests, but it's unlikely that you'll be able to do all three, if that makes sense.
Tucker is going to pipe up and say, I don't really want to go back to the capital yet, and then under his breath kind of go, I hate doing reports.
I can agree with Tucker on this one. Maybe not for the reports. Maybe more so for personal reasons. In order just looks away again dramatically.
Like, you have personal reasons to go to the capital?
I have personal reasons to stay away from the capital.
Tuck looks so intrigued.
I do not want to go to the capital either.
Did anyone want to go to the capital?
Nobody wants to go to the capital, yeah.
Well, Annalisa sort of pipes up. She's sort of like, well, I wouldn't mind going to the capital, but it seems I'm outvoted.
Well,
Go on.
well what is everyone's preferred first destination? Because obviously we do need to go to the capital at some point. But
Crumble's the closest.
that is true. That is true. Is anyone else strongly opinionated on where they would like to go first?
No.
Okay.
Well, we're a decisive bunch.
Yeah, you are. Lanu,
Flip
after
a
he,
coin.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Annalisa feels like there's not much she can say. She
Yeah.
just feels trapped.
After Lanu kind of hears everything going on, he kind of goes, okay, it seems that we have a general decision not to head immediately to the capital, and as such, we'll hit up Cromble first and see what's been going on there, since I haven't been unable to visit for at least a few years. So we'll hit up Cromble, and
Has Tuck
after that, we'll decide where we go next.
been to Cromble?
You've passed by it with Lanu. You might have been like on the outskirts of it, but it's been pretty infested with dolls. So you've not gone in depth into Cromble.
Okay. So are the dolls still active? Is that what the?
That's part of the reason why you'd be exploring. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Lanu goes, fantastic. Since you guys have decided this specifically all on your own and with great fervor, I look forward to traveling with you starting tomorrow.
Ordo just looks a little unhappy that we're going to Cromble because of the dolls.
No, you had a chance to say not to go to Cromble.
You did.
You can't be unhappy now.
Okay. No. I completely forgot that we mentioned the dolls in Cromble. I had it kind of in the back of my mind, but I was like, oh no, that was 70 years ago. It's not a problem now.
They might not be a problem now. We don't know.
I will say this: it's public information that Clem has been defeated.
Right.
But part of the research is finding out what that defeat entails in terms of the remnants of his army, obviously.
Right.
So, yeah, that is one thing that Lanu has offered up, and Lanu is essentially at this point, for your fantastic decisiveness, pointed your group in.
All right, Professor, what time are we heading out tomorrow?
As hard as it might be for some, at the crack of dawn.
Tucker lets out a groan. Why do we always have to leave at dawn?
Oh, you're right. Is everyone good with an hour prior?
Annalisa,
I'd be okay with that.
Annalisa sends Tucker a glare for making her wake up earlier now.
Tucker like makes the face of like, I didn't do anything, but like he can tell that she's pissed off at him. So he's like, this is an argument that I would lose anyway.
And he goes, and you, miss? To Wiggs? Are you good with that?
I'm good with it.
All right, fantastic. I will see you all tomorrow. I have finished my research here with the obelisk, and I'm sure all the relevant information will be given to the good barrels by the end of tonight. That's kind of like his information for you there. The Serafina is not actually there, and neither is Perrin. This was specifically a meeting for you five, essentially. So at that point in time, you guys are dismissed, and this is where we'll stop for tonight. This is kind of a little interlude area. It's a little awkward in terms of there's no exact adventure happening at that moment, but we'll work it out for sure, and we'll definitely see Waffles a few more times in the future. Whether or not everyone will be happy to see them or not, I don't know yet, but
At one point, Tucker said to the group, guys, that person sucked.
We will have Waffles appear a few more times. So if you do want to put in an item to Waffles shop, feel free to put it in. If you also want to know more, if you subscribe, you'll be able to see information. I've actually posted a little bit of information about Crumble already onto the Google Drive. Of course, I'm assuming the players are not going to want spoilers, so they're not going to be taking a look at it. But if you guys want to, as subscribers, take a look and have a little sneak peek in, you're free to do that as well. There is a map as well as some basic information on the town itself. I think I'm really excited. I always have fun with these guys. They are fantastic players. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed yourself today, even if you absolutely abhorred Waffles.
Waffles is fun. Tucker is just annoyed at him in character.
Oh, 100%.
I like Waffles out of character.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, same.
Even if I don't know how to barter with him.
They are an interesting bunch. All right, let me do the credits real quick. First and foremost, a big special thank you to AJ for all their support, being one of my best friends, and their amazing emote work. If you don't know their emote work, their emotes include the Holy Kiwi, the Goose, the Ouch, the Wommy, and the GGs. They are fantastic. Take a look at them. A big thank you to Scott2 Network for that really cool information, for that really cool opening. They did a fantastic job on that. A big thank you to my mods, AJ and Colin, whenever they stop on in. It's always a lot of fun. And a double big thank you to all of you guys for having fun with me, listening to D&D, and just enjoying our time together. And a double big thank you to all of my players for spending their Friday evening with us and playing Dungeons and Dragons, being giant fucking nerds. And that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you very much for joining. If everyone wants to say goodbye, we can say goodbye.
Bye, stream.
Alright, bye guys.
Bye.
Chat.
Y'all have a good one. Stay safe and stay Botanist Cool. Later.